Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today we have Dark. Hey, dude, what's up?
What's up, brother? How's it going?
Not too bad. Get a little volume right there.
Can you hear
How
me
should
okay?
we arrange this screen? There we go. Some bitch. Fucking in it
Beautiful.
now.
There we go. Sorry, and I'm coming in late, so I'm like doing some stuff on the back end real quick. So my
Right on, right
apologies.
on.
How's it going, dude?
Not too bad yourself.
Very well. Going very well, I might say. Okay, sorry, I'm almost done.
Yeah, I'm just. Damn it! I need to go to my channel to see my comments. There we go. All right.
Yeah, you can toggle back and forth. Yeah, ladies and
Well, no,
gentlemen out there, this is our
I don't
first
have my
time doing.
glasses on, so I got to put it like right here to read something. So
Oh, okay.
I can't see it on the
I'll
fucking screen.
I'll be there to the rescue in 1 second. I promise.
America.
Mark. Okay. No, this is not made for children.
Yep, I did click the same stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely
No.
not made for children.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I should have done this sooner, but running around crazy. Okay, almost done. Oh, that's wrong.
What's up, guys? Appreciate you all just hopping in. What's this about? Essentially, not a whole lot. We're just gonna talk about current events, stuff like that. But I wanted to get in one last stream because this Saturday is when I head down to Florida to smash some skulls. Pretty excited about it.
Metaphorically speaking,
Yes,
smashing
metaphorically.
skulls.
Like legally win in trial is what I mean by the metaphor. Like I'm not actually like punching anything, breaking, smashing, or destroying in any way, shape, or form.
Of course not. Of course not. Okay, I'm here. I'm back. I'm all good. My apologies.
No.
Okay, so CRS Firearms, man, Mr. Matt Hoover, or as
Yeah, buddy.
yeah, man. How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
Good to be back in your company. I know a lot of people don't know that we talk a lot. Everyone out there, man against the masses. Dark is on the wrong side of the screen. Yeah, for you guys that are familiar with DLD After Dark, you're like, hold on, this is
Wait,
swap.
can I click and drag?
You can. What I would do is
Yeah.
there's one. There you go. Now all of you guys that are used to seeing me. There's one more. There's one more that the silhouette to the right. If you click it, it backs us out a little bit. It makes
I
us
don't
a
like
little
it
more.
though.
You don't like that one?
Moneymaker. Boom.
Oh man, yeah. I feel weird. Like I'm all like close.
Like, fuck, I got a booger.
Yeah, right. Now, I know everybody that's a part of my channel knows who you are, but let's say there's somebody out there that doesn't know who you are. Let them know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you. And then I'll introduce myself to your people too.
You go first because I don't really know how to do the intros.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, CRS. So I'm Dark. I have a channel with I have a channel. It's called DLD After Dark, and it's focused primarily on, let's call it, independence, freedom, firearms, firearm building, prepping, preparation, and man, a lot of stuff. I mean, we covered like everything. EDC, we've had a lot of guests on there. I just had
PWC.
Yeah, PWEDC, which is everyday carry in your beehole. It's a joke. Don't do it. Do not put firearms in your beehole and say the Dark told you to. Yeah, I have a show. I go live 3 times a week, typically on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I also, in an effort to flip the largest middle finger that I possibly could to the ATF when they dropped their final rule that they've changed twice for frames and receivers, I started a jig company called DLD Hardware, and I've been selling jigs to keep the 80% movement going since August, September, in that time range. And lastly, I'm also a father and have a 6-year-old about 25 yards away from me. So if she does wake up, I may have to tend to her. But yeah, I'm Dark. So welcome. Oh, and of course, you can find me on YouTube at DLD After Dark. You can also find me on Instagram, DLD After Dark. And then of course like Twitter, that's basically the bathroom stall of the internet, but you can I guess find me there too. And of course my company, which is DLD Hardware, where I sell stuff.
I'm CRS Firearms. I'm a YouTube channel. What the basic purpose of my channel is I make really quiet sounds into the microphone, like this.
Yes.
Hello, how are you? And there's a lot of whispering involved.
Okay. ASMR, I think that's called, right?
Yeah, yeah.
ASMR. Oh,
I've
sure.
cornered the market on ASMR with one particular topic, and that is explaining to America that the AK is a pile of crap. Don't
Mm.
waste your money on it. If you're going to buy one firearm, make it an AR-15. Then further building your collection to make it look pretty. Yeah, the AK is a damn good looking rifle, and you can hang her up there and polish it, rub it with oil and shit.
I've never put oil on my. Well, it's not true. I have, but I mean I agree. If you're going to get one rifle, AR all the way, and then after you've got an entire armory of AR style firearms, then you can get some AKs. But
Oh yeah,
I like both.
You got to get yourself an AK, an M1 Grand, preferably a trench gun. That should definitely be in your collection.
With a
Benelli
bayonet.
M4, another really nice looking firearm that's a pile of crap, but it does look nice. Definitely buy one of those.
Mm,
Mossberg 500, it's the go-to.
yeah.
1911, you got to have that in the collection. Again,
See, I don't have a 1911 right now. I don't
I
have like at all. It's crazy. I know, but
well,
I
in
do
less than
not.
30 days when I got my collection back, I won't have a 1911 either. Obviously, I don't have one right now, but
Of
I
course.
do need to add that in. I want to get like a World War II style with like where you could tell like a soldier was like carving in the side of it every time he would get a
Oh yeah.
Nazi. Like that'd
Oh
be
yeah.
awesome.
Dude, it's the coolest thing because like for what was it, the M1s, like the M1 Grands, and anything that used stripper clips. A lot of the dudes, like, you could tell by whatever surplus rifle you got, you could tell what if they were right-handed or left-handed, because there would be dings in the stock from like whatever side they were slamming the stripper clips on before they threw them in there. It's pretty dope. It's cool. Surplus is dope, but I don't have a Benelli M4 currently. I don't have a 1911, and I got like 30 Glocks.
All those guns though, they're really really high price, but they're like a crown jewel of a collection.
Yeah, like the Scar. Scar is, yeah.
See, that's where we're gonna separate our opinions right there. Like that's why the screen split because that's where we don't come together.
With the Scar, you don't. I thought you had
Dude,
a.
the Scar is fucking awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. The Scar. Yeah, I was saying the Scar. Scar is a crown jewel.
No, that's my go-to.
Okay, so when you say crown jewel, you mean like something that you don't like, beat the piss out of or
No,
anything like
you could
that.
do that too. I'm just saying, like, my idea of a crown jewel is like a Benelli M4, a ELR rifle, stuff you don't really use, but it just kind of fits.
I gotcha. You could
Goes in
use it
there.
if you need to, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
functional, but
yeah.
not practical.
Yeah, because like I would rock 17, like a Scar 17S or even a 16S or something like that. Like I would rock it all day.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's better than an AR because it's not, but because I fell in love with it and I had more trigger time on it, that's obviously the one I would pick because I'm more familiar. I'm better with it. It's just
Yeah,
me is the difference in that particular one. If let's pretend I'd never bought the Scar until recently, it would be an AR all day long, like without a choice because I'd have more trigger time on the AR. But I just loved like when you shoot it, it feels like somebody's swatting you in the face with a piece of paper because of all the percussion that comes back, and I'm just like, yeah. So
yeah.
then I just kept shooting it more and more. And
It is. I mean, it's exciting. I actually, the first time I used a Scar was on a. Are you getting my audio okay? By the way.
yeah, I'm sound
Yeah.
great on my
Okay.
end.
All right. Just making sure. Um, I'm trying to. I'm bringing my like peak all the way up, so I don't have to be too loud to wake up my daughter. Sorry. So yeah, the first time I used a Scar was on a coyote hunt with a thermal optic,
Oh,
and dude,
spoiled.
yeah, so the Scar 17S with a can on it. I was running my AAC SDN6 on it, and dude, whoa, I was blown away. But like I would agree, like not necessarily better than an AR, right? It's just
I'd
different.
say it's worse. Like
It
when you
depends.
look at what it brings to the table compared to like an AR-15 with an ACOG on it, the SCAR's no competition. There's a reason why the
Yeah.
military didn't pick it. Now, as a civilian rifle, that's a different story because
Well, I
then you're
mean,
not.
there are a lot of scars that were actually fielded.
Yeah, but
They
I'm
just
saying it
didn't
didn't
get a
replace
huge.
the M4.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I think it's gonna take a very long time and a lot of advancement for us to like truly replace the M4. I mean, God, like John Moses Browning was a genius, right? And like he uh he built a timeless design, which is like imagine building anything else like a refrigerator that's a timeless design, like a car that's a timeless. No, they're evaluated and remanufactured every year, right? Like to make and there have been changes, right? Like the 1911, there's been a lot of changes in that too, but for the most part, like the integrity of the firearm and the design has like stayed the same. So, for something to stay the same for that long, I mean, that's crazy. Crazy.
It is. I mean, eventually we do have to replace it, but everything they've brought to the table, there's always been a trade off, a major trade off. That's like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big trade off. Like,
Typically caliber, right?
yeah.
Going from 308, 7.62, NATO to 5.56, and especially when you do it with the wrong barrel length and barrel twist and ammunition in the middle of a military conflict, that's not good.
Yeah, it is. We
Yeah,
haven't been
something
able to get past the trade off point to where the trade off is worth it. Like
yeah,
everything that's come to the table, it's always been harder to manufacture, harder to train on, harder. However,
the
it's got a ballistic advantage. But
yeah,
on all the scales of everything that's included, ballistic advantage is kind of low. I mean, yeah, it matters, but not as much as you would think. Not when you have 100,000 people shooting in the exact same direction.
yeah. Or even like something, so ease of carrying ammunition, right? Like
Yeah.
dudes can rock an ass load of ammo with an AR as opposed to like, an M14 or uh whatchamacallit, a M14. I was just gonna say he just texted me Crump and I think maybe Crump and Rich. I think they wanna jump in. Or we could say, you guys are late and we've been working on this for a long time.
You should have hit the appointment.
Yeah, yeah, guys, come on, come on.
No, let me know if
Um,
they do for sure want to jump in. We might bring them in.
yeah,
As
I
long
think
as Rich ain't going to do that black screen crap. I mean, what's the point of going live? You might as well do radio then.
yeah, you gotta do face, or if you are gonna do a black screen, you have to have a voice that is like, "And ladies and gentlemen," like, like a real
It's got to
radio
sound like
voice.
chocolate.
Yeah. "Let's get ready to something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
something
What
that really
setting do you turn it on to make it sound like that?
all I know is that when my sound guy came to, set this up, he was like, "Press this." I was like, "Okay."
Oh, yeah.
I
I'm not
dude,
even going to touch it then. I had to
I
do several live streams with like better or worse,
yep,
better or worse
yep.
to
Dude, it
determine
took
out.
I'm talking days, right? And then I literally had to change, like, and I know our people won't care about this, right? But like, the I had to change like the actual like volume of my voice and like from where I like project to be able to like it's crazy. So it's having a microphone will introduce you to some interesting things.
Yeah. I actually had
Um,
a guy talking to me yesterday because he's building a YouTube channel. It's still pretty small now, but he's asking me like technical questions about the camera. I'm like, dude, I turn it on. That's
yeah,
about as much as I know. Everything's on
boop,
default.
yeah,
I I just buy something that's not cheap and I just turn it
yeah,
on and it handles everything for me. As far as like shutter, focus, interspace gas, like I can't tell you anything about it. I know nothing.
yeah.
As far as editing software, it I struggle just to make a standard video.
Uh,
So don't ask me software questions. You want to ask me
well,
about like marketing thumbnails and stuff? That's a different story.
yeah, that you're highly skilled in that department. But speaking of things that you're skilled with, so you've labeled this or you've titled this live stream 39 families a day. You want to get into that at all, or you just want to kind of gloss over that?
Well, that like really came up in the whole Congress meeting when they were talking like, every one life matters, and they're talking about all this stuff that's going on and how allegedly there's a certain agency that's making the country better. But when you pull up their stats and you look at like what they're arresting people for, it's like 39 people a day that are getting arrested for victimless crimes. That's higher than drunk drivers. Like how is
Yeah.
that a positive on the country? You're breaking up families because their barrel length was too small, too big. They accidentally put the wrong attachment on in the wrong place, or
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
I,
how is that a positive?
I saw, and this is applied, either not applied, wa- fairly, I guess would be the word. Like you hear about things happening all the time, right? Like that woman that was trying to make I think she was like a senator or congressperson or something, and she cut her husband's AR in half, but she
Being
just
an
cut the
SVR
yeah, she just cut the barrel, and then she was like, "I'm
without a
just."
torch.
Yeah, right. And so that's the other thing, right? It used to be like, yeah, cut it, crush it, whatever. Just now it's like with three specific 45-degree angle, they're
At
getting.
least 1 inch apart.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It is a whole new level of craziness. But I think, and that's kind of one of the things. And I've gotten a little bit of attention because when I started DLD hardware, it was like, okay, they're clearly doing whatever they can to come after building, right? I believe that every single person has the right and the natural right to build modern firearms in the privacy of their own home with zero governmental overreach. And as soon as they were coming after that, right, like I felt like I had to do something personally. So I started DLD hardware and I started sending out jigs, just jigs, right? And the I just shot Crump. I just shot you a text too.
Thank you
We'll
for the
give it
super
to you.
chat.
Yeah, man, you're the man, man. And the the thing that I've been getting the most attention for is the fact that I have handwritten F the ATF on like nearly 3,000 packages that have gone out since September.
I'm pretty sure that legally classifies it as a machine gun.
Probably, or free
So
speech, one of the other.
yeah, I'm not really sure. Like,
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
yeah, dude. Here's the funny thing though. Not even funny, right? Here's the fascinating thing. I was thinking about it, right? You know that guy, John Correa. He does the ASP, the Active Self Protection channel. You ever seen him?
Hmm?
So he's sponsored by like New Way Ford. It's like a Ford, a car thing, right? Apparently, like they come out, they deliver your car and whatever. I don't know, but it's Ford. Okay. And I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so let's say he does a bunch of Ford advertisements. Okay. And after doing all these Ford advertisements, a bunch of people buy these Ford trucks. And then let's say a bunch of them do drugs and alcohol and, crazy stuff. And they just decide to break the law and end up hurting a bunch of people, right? Does the federal government go after John Correa with active self protection for being sponsored by Ford because some people chose to break the law or could choose to break the law?
Well, and that's why this is so like exciting,
Yeah.
because I'm literally gonna make case law.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah. This is special.
This is very special.
Yeah. You're a special person, Mr.
And I get to
CRS.
be a part of history. I
Yeah.
mean, this is not at all what I had in mind when, I found out I had cancer and I prayed to God, like, I just wish I would have done something that could have changed the world.
Yeah.
However, you work with the hand you're dealt.
Yeah. Yeah. You took it like a champ. And I couldn't imagine, man, watching, if I was in your shoes, watching my attorney listening to the story he told, knowing that because I would consider you and I friends, like actual real life friends, not just you know YouTube people, whatever. Because there's some people you just know online and stuff, but I'd consider you an actual friend. And even me, just hearing him tell your story was like, ooh, like that hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it cracked me up. I actually shed a tear because it's one thing, like when they're like, "Oh, you gotta go to Florida, or your channel's demonetized," or "Okay, now you're going from 60 years to 64 years," or "Now we want to take your house if we win and hit you with
Yeah.
2 million." It doesn't matter. Once you get past like a certain point, I'd probably say like the 1 year point,
Yeah.
you can't be hurt anymore because no matter
Yeah.
what, like all the because I googled it a lot while I was in my downtime, especially at 3 months when I wasn't making videos because I wasn't sure what was going to go on, and then Bruin dropped, and I'm like, well, it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 year is where the significant damage starts. So, say you get a sentence of time and it's shorter than 1 year, you can hypothetically serve that and come out and get your life back on track. Once you break that 1 year point, it goes from like something small, like 20% to like 90% of families get destroyed after that, divorce, losing houses, stuff like that.
I think real quick, John Crump just said CRS Rich is about to crash because I think they have. So I don't Crump. I don't know if he has access to my channel because CRS is simulcasting to both of our accounts. So I don't think Rich can jump in. But so they're out at PSA The Gathering right now, which was an event that I was supposed to go to, but I had my daughter this weekend. I am enjoying joint custody with my daughter, and the no, I didn't text me the link. Sorry, I'm looking at chat and talking to you. And I was gonna go there, but they're all there right now. I don't know. They could have like everyone in that room. They could have like, John Crump, Flying Rich, Hank Strange, like all the people, all the YouTubers out there, 2AEDU. So I don't know what to expect if you bring them on. Maybe, I'll leave that up to you since you're running the show today.
Well, do you want to bring them on?
I mean, I don't really like them, really. I
Yeah,
don't enjoy.
because we could shoot a test link there, and then if the audio is just trash and stuff like that, we can always just kick them.
Yeah, yeah, you could shoot it over time. I'm just kidding. I love.
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
he said they do. I love John Crump. I love Flying Rich and everyone else that they're there. I think I can just tell they really, really, really want to get in badly.
I'm emailing Crump the link now. He'll have
Okay,
to
cool.
disperse it.
Yeah.
Talk
Now,
for a bit.
as you well, let me go through. I'll say what's up to people as you so CNT Designs and Arms, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Senor Bob, what's up? Agorizer, a Flood Munitions, what's up, partner? By the way, Flood Munitions, we got to set up a time for you to come on the show as well. Damian Christ, Joshua John, Travis, all you guys, good to see you guys. Okay, so hold on. So you're saying like after a year, is that when you have like legal standing, or what would you mean by that?
No, I googled. I'm like, hey, what hypothetically saying? Let me get a sentence. I want to look at the statistics of like how long people sit in, typically come out, turn around their life. What's the statistical possibility of going back in after you come out? Like, I just wanted, and I searched everything. Like, I spent days just going over statistics. That's actually where I found out that this whole 97% conviction rate was a bunch of propaganda.
Yeah, it's bull.
It's insane. And then what I found, statistically speaking, 1 year is the cutoff. If you sit longer than 1 year, you come out and you have, even if it's a year and a day, you come out and you have a completely different life. The divorce rate goes from like 10% to like 90%.
Okay, yeah. So so I know what you mean now. Sorry, I misunderstood. So yes, so the difference is that if you do less than a year, even if you do 365 days, crazy enough, um, usually that's misdemeanor time done on state level, of which you do 50% of your sentence. If you're doing a year, so the difference between 365 days and a year as a sentence or more, then you're doing federal time. They can move you anywhere around the country that they want, and you're doing 85% of your sentence.
No, I'm saying like the time itself. It doesn't matter where you sit. Less than a year, the person comes out totally different than if they sit a year or longer.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I also think that it's a big aspect of the other implications there.
Yeah, because like I even searched to try to figure out why the divorce rate was. The suicide rate goes through the roof. The divorce rate goes through the roof. Loss of house goes through the roof. The ability to find a job afterwards, like, plummets. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, the 1 year is the cutoff. So basically, if you're facing any time longer than a year, it's irrelevant how long past that it is, because no matter what, your life, statistically speaking, 90% going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Rich stepped away for a second and went to brush his teeth.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
I believe it. Rich is an old man.
Yeah, he is. You know, he's got
Yeah. Paul went to sleep already. We have to leave to drive to the airport pretty damn early tomorrow. Rich is staying a little bit longer.
Gotcha. When is he coming? When is he? Hey, Rich. When are you guys heading back?
Jesus Christ. I'm coming back tomorrow.
Okay.
Rich is coming back tomorrow too.
And you didn't get me a PSA water.
Dude, I got a carry-on. I
Okay.
got like 2 carry-ons.
We got one, but it's empty.
Appreciate the super chat.
Really?
Thank you for the $10.
Hey, man,
Hey, man.
against messes. Who sent you that picture?
Hold on real quick. Eric Davidson sent a $10 super chat. He said, "Hey, Matt, thanks for the Freedom Star, brother. Hell yeah."
Appreciate it, man. That's what I'm here for.
Like,
Definitely when you guys ask questions, super chats do get priority, because if you look at the chat, it's like, so a lot of times I don't see it, but those show up in big colors and it's hard to miss it.
Yeah, I wish there was another way to do it, because it's like the chat's rolling and it's like big yellow, like, you know.
Well, it even sticks at the top too.
Yeah. So okay, hold on. You guys are serious? You got an empty one? You got an empty one for me?
He just turned. A man against messes just turned you in, bud.
I didn't do it.
What are you saying?
What? No, man against the messes just turned Rich in. A picture of me sleeping on the couch went viral.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun out here.
I didn't take the picture, and I
Yeah,
didn't
so-
send the picture to anyone.
So how has
I
it
think
been?
Mass has got it.
How has it been at PSA The Gathering?
It's been fun.
Oh, it's been fucking amazing. Too bad you guys weren't here.
I can't leave the
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You can go to Florida.
Yeah, with court approval and stuff like that. Another guy, because I have people contact me constantly. He actually got permission to leave the state, and they still arrested him, and now they're detaining him until his court date's over. He's like,
Wow.
"But I got the email, PO Kane," and they're like, "I don't care."
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
So this way,
yeah,
if I only leave the state going to Florida, if they get me, if somehow they arrest me, they're going to take me to my court date anyway, so I just won't be late.
Screenshot from his short.
Yeah. For
Did
real.
I post a short with you sleeping?
Oh, Rich.
Oh, that's grimy. You posted a short of John Crumb sleeping.
All right. That's kind of creepy, man.
Yeah.
Anywho, so the big reason we were on today is just to kind of read over the ATF response letter to P80. If you want to take that away, Dark.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know we were actually going to read it. I don't have it pulled up.
Oh, if you're
right
not
now.
ready yet, then we'll just kind of chat for a minute.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of
Oh,
an
that's
interesting thing. So like I've been following this whole process from the beginning, right? And so initially, August 24th, they dropped a 296. Are you guys changing it? I don't think CRS wants it changed. That's why. Okay, I'm big. Okay, I'm big.
What's up?
I didn't know who was changing it, if that was you.
Oh no,
or-
I was
or-
just arranging it because you're gonna talk for a minute.
Okay,
and
cool. All right, yeah. All
then
right,
I
just
muted
wanna make
us
sure.
and put you mid.
See, Crump and Rich are known for meddling, in the background. So no, but so basically, the initial drop was a 296-page document on August 24th, which was their final rule change for unfinished frames and receivers, aka 80%, frames, and it was an attack on them. However, what they did, and keep in mind, nobody here agrees with anything that they did, and we think that any any restriction at all on your natural rights are an encroachment of your God-given rights that are supposed to be protected by the United States Constitution and the Constitution of your state as well. And I'm not keeping an eye on chat, so let me know, guys, if something pops up like a super chat or something. So basically, what they did is, without an act of Congress, without any legislation, they jumped in and just put out a rule change, which of course is backed up, by federal law, right? So the punishment for this is literally, 10 years in prison and $250,000 in fines for breaking these laws. Or at the best case scenario, you'll be in trouble for, obfuscation of licensure and, FFL licensing and, uh, you know, uh, avoiding background checks and serialization and all this stuff, right? So nothing good will come from this. But what they did, and I don't think they realized this, is they said, we can't have these kits going out there. Now, when we hear kits, we're thinking of something different. But what they said was the frame, so the blank frame and the jig together is a firearm, which is a very interesting way of looking at this. Because in the beginning, when we all started building guns, it was like, okay, you go buy your lower from whatever, like let's say an AR lower, you go buy it from wherever, and then you go buy your 5D tactical jig or whatever. You always got the jig and unfinished receiver from different places. So what they did essentially was they created a new industry specifically for P80s and similar types of, unfinished frames and receivers, to where different companies sold the frames, the frame blanks by themselves, and then different companies like me, like DLD Hardware, sell just jigs. Right now, some companies kind of we don't even need to get into that. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But basically, what they did is they created this new industry, and then they had said, okay, from August 24th up until 12/27 at like 3:32 p.m., the jig and the frame just had to be separate. And then because they're getting pushed by, Everytown and Brady and all these anti-gun platforms, they say, "Hey guys, we're just gonna drop an opinion, okay? We're gonna drop an open letter," which to this day I've never met an FFL that has actually received the open letter. But
It
they
was
said,
mostly Giffords.
"Oh, Giffords, okay, all right, still anti-gun, extremist BS." But then they say, okay, you know how this whole frame and jig thing needing to be separate, whatever is a thing that we made it a thing, right? Well, we think that the frame by itself is a firearm. And never mind the fact that we made this 296-page document that says that this is what it is. It's the final rule. It'll never be changed. And not only will it never be changed, even if there is a Supreme Court ruling, because this is right when Bruin dropped, right? It cannot be changed, even with new Supreme Court case law. So hang on real quick. I'll come right back to that. Tim Hoppa with the $5 super chat. Thank you, bro. And this is actually a true story. This happened with him, and not only just him. I think, in his state, the ATF classified my AR pistol as an SBR because it has a brace on it and an MG. And a machine gun because it had a Franklin Arms binary trigger. It's been 3+ years and no charges. So they took it. It had a brace and a binary trigger, and which if you guys know the NFA, whatever is a machine gun can't also be an SBR or anything. Like a machine gun is a machine gun. Like that's it. But have you guys heard anything about this instance?
I was looking, yeah, Tim Harper and I have talked off and on. Like when I wrote the whole entire brace thing, like that one that blew up like a few years ago before anyone knew that ATF was coming after braces, I actually I got a document about Tim Harper's case or him being arrested, but but his name was blocked out. An interesting thing was I looked for him for like 3 years and just gave up. And then like the week after I gave up, he came into my live chat. Was like, "Hey, I was in the
Yeah.
States. This happened to me. Like, mother effer.
Yeah, I remember he came up in my channel too. I was like, I remember you saying that. I was
The
like,
guy
yo,
I've been looking for.
you're the guy, right? Like it's
You're
like
the guy. You're the guy.
it's like looking for somebody forever, and then they just knock on your door like, "Hi, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies." You're like, "What?"
It's just like that in like the Jack Reacher movie
Yeah,
where the cop's like, "How are we gonna find Jack Reacher? Sir, there's a Jack Reacher here to see you."
yeah, yeah.
Well, and the crazy thing is too, when they were having those Congress meetings, apparently they watched like an hour of YouTube videos and they couldn't find anybody that was actually using it around their arm. Which one, the ATF said that was totally legal not to. So I mean, is that really relevant?
Yeah.
Two, what you're actually making a case for is common use. So we're talking about a possibility of as many as 40 million of these, and everybody shoulders them. That means that the only logical step to make at this particular point would be remove SBRs from the NFA, because if the pistol brace is the same thing as the SBR, which they put up little pictures and they said, oh, they're the exact same thing, they're not completely different. So if the pistol brace makes it an SBR, there's 40 million people putting it up on their shoulder. Well, that makes it common use. The SBR is in common use, which means it's protected by Heller and needs to be removed from the NFA.
Well, in Michigan, a judge said, "What the hell are you doing, Dark?" In Michigan, a
I didn't
judge
do anything. I don't have controls on this one.
It's all me.
a judge did state recently in the last few days, I think like 3-4 days ago, in a case there, that just because something is in common use does not mean it's unusual.
Or in common use.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And
So
if
what
you-
you're trying to say now, I'm assuming this is a federal judge. Are we talking about an appeal judge, a circuit judge, or like
District
a
judge.
Supreme Court judge?
district judge,
Was he just appointed by the Biden
he's
administration?
a Biden judge, yeah. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's not unusual. Now, if you look up the word uncommon, which I did, the first thing I looked it up to see what synonyms are, right? And the first synonym that pops up is uncommon.
Yeah, uncommon and unusual are synonyms. They're exactly the same.
But not according to this judge. They're two different things.
Well, this is why kind of and you know I'll kind of wrap that little story up. Well, actually, never mind. I won't. Thank you. Super chat just came through. Gabber Piet, $10 super chat. Thank you. I believe this is for CRS's channel. He says, was watching Matt's video on the oversight hearing and heard Fudbuster call him a cancer-stricken man. What kind? What stage? If you don't want to disclose any health info, I get it. I hope you are okay. You want to hit that before I continue?
So it's anal cancer. I don't know anything about stages, but they had to chop out a 40 millimeter tumor and they want to cut up my intestines. Still not sure if I'm going to let them do that or not. That just doesn't sound like a good idea. Like I don't know. I don't know much about surgery. It's something I got to look a lot more into it. Obviously, the current events that are going in my life had just dwarfed that as a much smaller problem. Because, I mean, regardless, like, let's pretend I do get 64 years in prison. Well, then maybe I just won't do anything with the cancer and make it only like 10 years or something like that.
Oh,
So,
dude, that's
after this case is over, which should be within the next month, then yes, we will investigate further, do more research, get more testing done, find out exactly what's supposed to go on. And then they found a bunch of lumps on my lungs that they're supposed to monitor every 30 days or something like that to make sure they're not changing size. Because they got to like cut me open and start chopping those things off. Again,
dude, I had no idea about that. I didn't. You didn't tell me about that.
well, this all happened during that 3-month dark period where I was like, I don't know if I should upload videos, but then Bruin dropped, and I'm like, I mean, does it really even matter at this point? So, yeah, that I'm not sure what's going on. We'll have to see. But again, that shit doesn't matter. Let's handle one fight at a time. I don't want to fight a battle on two fronts. So first things first, I need to go into court, and my attorney needs to make an example out of. All right, go back to Dark.
Yeah. One thing I will say that I remember you sharing when you were going through all that was that because of the way that the tumor was, basically, if like anything slightly changed, you would have had the actual cancer up against like your bone and blood and all that. It would have probably circulated all throughout your body, as opposed to it being like tissue or something along those lines, right? Something like that.
All right, so the long story short is it was 40 millimeters. They couldn't take it out in one piece. It was way too big. I mean, maybe if I was a porn star, they could, but obviously there's restrictions.
That's similar.
It's
similar
that
to
size
the
right there. So they had to chop it up inside of me and pull it out in pieces. The problem was on one of the cuts, the cancer was touching right up against it. So it could have hypothetically been all surrounded in tissue, and then it hasn't grown to the point to where it was spreading to my body yet. Or if it just so happens to be that one cut where it was up against was actually the one up against my intestine wall, well, that's a problem, because then it's already spreading through the intestines and stuff like that. So where was it? I don't know. I have been meaning to...
Sorry, I know you don't have your glasses on. I'm sorry. Robert Kitchen. Wow, Robert Kitchen sent a $50 super chat.
Holy crap.
Yeah, huge super chat. I've been meaning to give to your cause. So here's my donation. Whoa.
I appreciate it, man. Like, honestly, without all your guys' support, I don't know how I would have done this. Like, I feel really bad for the average person that gets caught up in this. I had already people on my side, like Dark immediately jumped in, Crump jumped in, Matt from Floodbusters, the GOA contributed. Like, everybody just immediately was like, roar. If I wouldn't have had that, I don't know what's going to go.
That's what we do. That's what we do. I mean, there's been countless situations where, like, something happens, someone gets in trouble, whether it's, typically these are situations where they didn't necessarily do something wrong, right? And the whole community jumps in, like all of us jump in. Crump and Rich, myself, CRS, you've helped way more people than you've ever asked for anything from. So, I think to see people jumping in and supporting you, that's huge. And Crump too, we've all done fundraisers, we've raised money for countless people, and we've the GOA, geez, like that's a no-brainer. So hell yeah,
Team
man,
F Bud.
What's that? Right. That's my gamer tag on F-Box is F-Buds. It's a blank up daily. So I wanted to throw a little update out there. Remember the Minnesota veteran? After my video, he mysteriously had more compliant police officers and he got his gun back.
Wow.
Guns.
Well, hopefully our boy out there that just mentioned his SBR machine gun that was taken by the police, which clearly they don't know about the NFA. Hopefully he gets his non-machine gun, non-SBR machine gun back. It's really just an AR with a binary trigger and a pistol brace on it. So hold on. So now after the 120 days, are the police in possession of an illegal unregistered short-barreled rifle? Interesting. I don't know. Maybe police can't break laws. What do you think?
Probably not. They get qualified immunity.
No.
That's such a dirty word.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so just to kind of wrap this up in a beautiful bow, and by the way, you're getting a whole grip of support and love, CRS, in the
which I do appreciate.
Right, yeah, man, you guys are awesome. Actually, Flood Munitions says, yeah, CRS helped me out with my channel when I was first getting started. Still need to return the favor, friend. Oh, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, and he's doing some big things. So hell yeah. But so to I'm not used to Rich being so quiet. Someone said. That's funny. Agreed. Okay, so to kind of wrap this all up in a tight little bow, essentially this is what happened. So this 296-page document that the ATF dropped on gun building, and guys, how important is gun building when it comes to our natural rights? It's imperative.
It's everything.
Charles Henry with a $20 super chat. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm filing a Plain Monday in Montgomery County, Ohio, for my company. The state regulator is subcategorizing handguns to restrict our private investigators or PI security guards' ability to carry. Wish me luck. How can I share the story?
All right, so obviously you can also get it to Crump and Dark, which isn't a bad idea. Actually, sending the documents to Crump first because he's like he deep throats that bad boy and makes it consumable for the rest of us.
Okay. Hold on.
Well, let me get it.
The deep throating.
He deep throats that bad boy.
He's talking about the Washington Post
with the Lovelace
investigation of the Watergate saga, not the other type of deep throating.
Is there a difference? Or
I mean, that's
info at crumpy.com. Just get it over to me.
You said info at Crumpy.
Info at
crumpy.com.
Yeah, get it over to him. He'll smash it down a little bit. Then we'll go through and actually like try to extract consumable information that we can share to people that are about as smart as me. So that's pretty hard. I mean, I have to really smash something down for me to understand it. I honestly think that's why I get a lot of support is because I'm able to do that. Anywho, then we'll blast that story out there and make it a big deal.
Yep. Hell yeah. And the all that legal jargon, like all the stuff that like we wouldn't understand. I've sent Crump like entire documents. I mean, like, dozens and dozens of pages, and he texts me back with like a sentence, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So
don't forget that's in about 2 or 3 minutes because Crump speed reads.
Yeah, it's kind of scary how much he speed reads. I, on the other hand, am like, I have some
You got to
type
move
of
your lips when you read.
So I'm not that bad, but I have to read it like 2 or 3 times, like each sentence as
I get the document. I'm like, he was, and it could take me days to consume that piece.
He's like, to he whom, what's a whom? What's a whom?
Gotta Google the definition of it, like every word.
Yeah. Okay, so basically this final rule change said it can never be changed, even with a new Supreme Court ruling, which Bruin happened to drop right around that time. Basically, they said this could never be changed ever. So what did the ATF do? Well, they changed it, and that was just in December. That was December 27th at about 3:24 p.m. And what they did is, this is kind of where I left off, is they said, yeah, that whole frame blank and jig needing to be separate thing? Yeah, because they saw all these companies come out and start selling jigs, right? I think they knew what was going on. They knew that things were still, manageable to get, and they didn't stop. They thought this would stop gun building. All it did was just create another industry. Go ahead, Crump.
Okay, what happened was, this is what actually happened. See, the ATF, the way the December 27th letter was written, that's what they wanted to do originally. But in order to get a lot of these cases thrown out, they claimed that, hey, we didn't ban anything. We just said you can't sell them with frames. So companies heard that in court and just started saying, all right, well, the ATF said we can do it, so let's go ahead and do it. Then they went ahead and changed it, and that's why you see like all these other cases now going back and getting injunctions, because now they have to argue what they originally didn't argue in court. So they backed themselves in the corner originally, then everyone started flooding the market. So what they did is they just delayed the injunctions that were going to come by several months by arguing in court that it was okay to sell blanks. And then once those court cases were gone, they tried to go back and change it, but those court cases got brought back up, and the judges weren't exactly too happy with the ATF saying, oh, this is what you can do. Then several months later saying, oh, remember when we said in court you could do that? Well, you really can't do that. We're sorry. We made a mistake. So the judges kind of got pissed off.
I'm sensing a pattern here. We'll get to that in a sec. Star Wars Games with a $10 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's for CRS. It says, just because Been watching for years. I figured I would directly contribute. That's awesome.
It's amazing, man. And like everybody, even though there's not, yeah, there's some big contributors. I mean, blew my freaking mind. But it's all the little contributors added up together that just steamrolled through all of this and made it possible. Like, honestly, like, thank you guys. I really do appreciate it.
Hell yeah. And then, of course, one from my channel. Shout out to the GD Bacon. What's up, brother?
What's up,
He
Bacon?
He says, because someone should also throw Dark a super chat. Oh, wow.
Right on, right on.
Rich is being a pussy, so he's going.
You're going night-night? Oh,
Yep.
come on.
Yeah, I mean, you said 10:30.
Did I say 10:30? You also didn't respond to me for like an hour. So
We were watching Top Gun
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Videos.
That's
and Unicorn videos.
so Gabber Piet with a $5 super chat. If you pass Matt, we'll immortalize you with a folk song like Ruby Ridge and Waco. God bless you. Wow. That's
Follow Flying Rich and Flying Rich and Flying Rich Firearms.
oh yeah. That's do that, guys, because Flying Rich and Flying Rich Firearms are both two excellent YouTube channels, not to be confused with Fly Rich, which is a big black gig cowboy.
No, it seriously is CRS.
Yeah, it really is.
I know, it's funny.
Yeah, sorry. It's like he, could pick his name or something.
I like how the ATF did it too, where they put this really angry letter out and they're like, we passed a new rule. Like if somehow they got it to go through Congress or something like that. Like
That's
and they are making laws. I don't care what anybody says. Those rules are enforceable by federal law and punishable by 10 years in a federal pounding the ass prison and $250,000 fines.
Dude, just got a message from C&T Designs and Arms. C&T Designs and Arms is
What's in the box?
a friend of the channel, and he just sent this. He says, I still need to send this to CRS. It's the big steel plasma cut that says free CRS.
I will totally hang that on the wall back there too.
Oh, dude, that'd be dope. I tried to hang mine
You
up.
almost
but
hit whiteboard of knowledge.
me.
See, I actually had ordered a bunch of free CRS patches, but there was some logistical issues. I got them ordered back in October, but they never came. So maybe someday when they come, there'll be more of like memorabilia to what happened. So
yeah, after you're, free.
Yeah, right.
Rich carries around a case with his PS90 in it everywhere he goes. So he's walking around South Carolina with the PS90 in a case everywhere.
That is pretty base.
And a 5.7, right? Yeah. Okay, so just to G23, welcome back.
Oh, hold on, I want to say one thing. I forgot, but Crump, can you get me the details of that case? Because I would love to make a video about a judge saying that common use isn't common use.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would love to just hear them try to explain that. I mean,
he doesn't explain it. He just makes a statement like it's a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, what I mean is like once it's blown up and, like the velocity of information nowadays, once it's just all over YouTube and all over the internet, then he's got to explain it. It's alt media. It's people like us. It's and of course, like, I'm small potatoes compared to all these other guys, right? But like, all these other huge channels that get the info out there, I mean, they're pushing this out to millions of people, right? CRS is pushing this out to hundreds of thousands of people. Rich is pushing this out to dozens of people.
Congress watched.
Hold on.
Congress watched.
Hold
on, Rich. Congress watched allegedly hours of YouTube videos. There's not hours of YouTube videos that have million subscribers. Your channel makes a difference, like it or not. It was used as evidence in Congress. So regardless how big, how small your channel is, you, the viewer, and you, Rich, Dark, you are making a difference. You are changing the hearts and minds of America to the point where Congress actually takes it as consideration into their decisions on what they are or are not going to do. They didn't go to the Discovery Channel. They didn't go to the History Channel. They didn't go to the Encyclopedia Britannica. They went on YouTube to see what we're saying.
Dark, just so you know, I think my B channel hit 5,000 subs.
Oh, good for you. You totally earned it. using my voice for your content. I'm just kidding. We're poking fun. We love each other. We're buddies. But no, everyone's subscribed to Flying Rich and Flying Rich Firearms. Flying Rich is one word, by the way. So anyway, and this is the kind of crazy banter you'll see on DLD After Dark as well.
The
Okay.
real question is, let's pretend, what is it, Tuesday Congress is voting? Yeah, I think it's Tuesday. Let's pretend they do decide that the ATF's pistol-based rule is null and void. I wonder if that'll be enough momentum to actually like push up a lawsuit to the Supreme Court and go after like SBRs.
I don't think
no,
it can.
because like Congress can vote to make the rule null and void, but it doesn't actually become null and void until Biden signs it, which he's not, and there's not enough to override a veto.
So let's pretend Congress makes it null and void. Do you think that would give it enough steam to go after the SBRs and the NFA?
No.
No?
It wouldn't ever escalate to the Supreme Court, right? Or a court that would actually, create case law.
No,
right?
no. The GOA case in Texas in the 5th District, and the district, the Northern District of Texas, which is under the 5th Circuit Court, that does make an NFA claim, and that cites Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, which was a case where a Jehovah's Witness was told that he had to pay a soliciting fee to go door to door, and the Supreme Court in Murdoch said that you cannot put a direct tax on a right. And the GOA case down in Texas uses that as going after the NFA, saying this pistol break, saying, hey, SBR, the NFA is basically a direct tax on a right, which, according to Murdoch, is unconstitutional. It also makes several different arguments as well. That hey, even if you don't buy that, then it goes into other arguments. But that's one of the main arguments.
I had heard about a case where somebody was suing because they tried to make a after 1986 machine gun and they said no. They're suing because they wouldn't allow them to pay the tax. Have you heard anything on that? Is that going anywhere?
No, it's not going to go anywhere. That case is it's a pro se case, right? So pro se cases never go anywhere.
What does that mean?
It means that the guy is representing himself.
Oh, I gotcha. Do you think anyone will wind up picking it up, or is it just too weak?
It's too weak of a case. It's already. I mean, I believe that there's bigger challenges before that actually get taken out. You have a better chance of getting the whole NFA taken down with the Murdoch defense rather than the going after machine guns. It's just the case law is not really on the side, and it's been argued multiple times, and people have tried to do it multiple times. So
let's pretend a district court judge sides with him and it goes up to appeals court. Then do you think people would jump on and it would go anywhere? Or is it still just like the whole argument?
Because you got to also look at not only the case and how strong the case is, but where it's located at and stuff like that.
Where's it located?
That is somewhere in the Midwest. The only place that it has a real chance of actually going anywhere would be in the 5th District, which is like Louisiana, Texas, and stuff. So the 5th District, possibly, but like any other district, when 5th, maybe 6th.
What are the strongest districts not counting the 5th, because everyone knows that's like the circuit. Not counting the 5th, what are the strongest districts in like currently?
Oh, circuit, you mean?
Yeah.
You have the 5th is really strong, which everyone knows. The 6th is pretty good. It could be better, but I mean it is pretty good. How's that? Let's see what else. The 8th is really good. That's like North Dakota and stuff. And there's actually a bunch of challenges there. The Morehouse case is in the 8th. That's going up to the 8th right now. Also, that's where FRAC, the Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition, which is SB Tactical and like 24 state AGs are suing, and that is in North Dakota district, and that is in the 8th, and I think they picked us through there because of the 8th. So 5th, 8th, then 6th would be my top 3 in that order.
So those are the circuits you don't want to move out of.
Yeah. You want to stay in the 5th, 8th, then 6th. Those are, if I was picking, those are the ones I would say. I would stay away from the 4th, the 9th, and even the 2nd. And the 11th, the panel of judges did something crazy with the 11th.
Yeah, that's where they decided that cases can't be thrown out. The government has the right to prosecute.
Yeah, the 11th is bad juju right now.
Real quick, Wild Weasel, thank you for the
Appreciate
$5 super chat, man. Hell yeah. He says, love all you guys, but DLD is my hero. I'm just kidding. He says, love all you guys, but CRS, I just wanted to tell you that you're my hero. Thanks for fighting the battle so our kids don't have to. You have big brass balls that you need to carry around in a wheelbarrow, specifically an oversized wheelbarrow.
With solid steel wheels.
Steel bearing wheels. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really like comments like that. It does make me feel a lot better about the whole situation.
And Gabber Piet says, DLD and CRS need to get on Demo Ranch. That would be cool if Demo Ranch ever openly mentioned the cause, the movement, the fight, the things that we discussed on every minute of our content. Yeah.
Well, I get it. I mean, if you truly want to build a successful YouTube channel, you never talk about anything that has any chance of anybody disliking it.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Because you never gain from it. You always just take your pie and cut a little section out for the people that disagree.
Yeah. You know, I always thought, because here's the interesting thing. Like I said, I write, F the ATF, and I don't write the curse word, right? Because, what if like a kid is around or something? I feel weird about that. But I was like, man, like there could be ATF agents that build, right? There could be some retired whatever government, worker or something that's like, ATF, they're my heroes. They saved my dog in a burning house fire or some shit like that,
Well, that's the beauty of the mystery patch. Is the ATF has to spend $30 on my store to find out what this is, because it can literally be anything.
So
anything at all.
Is it the one I think it is?
Yes, it is.
So therefore, I'm using some of the ATF's money to fight the ATF, which is just beautiful in my mind.
That is just,
it makes me feel good on the inside. Yeah, it's only $30, but it doesn't matter.
Hey, if it's glorious, if it came from the ATF, like, yeah. Flood Munitions, thank you. $20.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
He says,
is it a mystery patch so you have plausible deniability?
Huh?
Yeah.
Is it a mystery patch so you can have plausible deniability?
Well, no, the design, it needs a redesign. What I designed in my head, is not at all what it also looks like. And I was like, as soon as someone pointed out, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I was like, oh my God. 1, I can't show it on my channel. 2, I definitely can't collect money for it. So the only choice I have is to give it away for free.
So the interesting thing is, I've seen the patch, and what it's supposed to be, it wasn't even on my radar. Wasn't even remotely close to me.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's supposed to be. I know what it looks like.
Yeah, when he sent it to me, I was like, dude, why would you make that?
Yeah, he's like, what are you thinking? I'm like, oh my God. And you were my fucking...
The last one. Like,
yeah, you were legitimately my last chance at bringing this thing to market. And when you said that, I'm like, okay, it's really that bad.
Yeah, dude.
No, it's bad. It's like,
let's just say the flag disappeared. It wasn't even there.
I know.
I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, I don't want to discuss it any further.
$20
super chat. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Flood Munitions, who, by the way, has the coolest stickers of any YouTube channel out there. Flood Munitions, $20 super chat says, CRS, thank you for helping share my channel. Back when you were asking for extra content, you showed me some solid support. Much appreciated. Keep up the good fight. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
And he's also involved with a massive other show. And I don't know if he, I'll shut up. I don't.
I thought you were gonna say a girl. I'm like, that's not nice.
A terribly
It's a massive girl.
Yeah. Massive.
Don't hang out with him.
Yeah, no double dates. Okay, so hold on. 5 gifted. Oh, Kurt. Wow, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everybody that's here on behalf of my channel, which is DLD After Dark. Kurt24, one of my most solid, and I love all y'all, right? But one of my most solid go-to viewers purchased 5 channel members, and just it randomly shares it with all the active users. So thank you. I appreciate
What
you,
did he?
Kurt.
What's that?
So you can donate channel memberships.
How?
So anybody that's watching can just donate like 5 gifted DLD After Dark memberships, and that goes out to all my channel members.
Random?
Yeah, it just randomly selects it. I think somebody bought me one of 2AEDU's channel memberships, so maybe you can like pick a person to gift it to. But if you just say, I want to gift 5 memberships, it'll just pick 5 engaged
Oh, wow.
users.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep. Send the $30 even without the patch. There isn't a better investment.
Dude, I can imagine. I'm just thinking someone's like, I'm gonna put this mystery patch on my plate carrier, open it up. Nope.
Not going on there.
They're like, I am gonna hide this. I don't even know where I have Velcro somewhere I can hide this. You're gonna put it in a drawer somewhere and talk about it quietly with some of your friends. I mean, it's a great patch. Yeah,
we'll just let it go at that point. We're not even
Yeah.
about it anymore.
If you guys want the patch, go ahead and spend $30 and we'll help our friend, Mr. CRS Firearms, and you will get something that you're not expecting.
You won't. There's no way you can guess even what it looks like.
You will not expect this at all. Guys, go to shoponlytacticalfans.com and buy something just to get this. And they'll never exist again, because trust me, no one would ever press copies of this patch ever again.
You're gonna dump it in your hand and you're gonna be like, it's kind of messed up.
Your jaw will drop. Okay. Mike McClune.
I just can't believe how different the design of my head winded up. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Like everything's like great. And then people started pointing out it, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, once you see it.
Oh,
no. Once you see it, it's you don't see anything else.
Yeah.
So real quick, Mike McClune.
Wait, Dark Chip he showed it to me, you sent it to me. I said, all right. I was on the phone with Dark. I opened it up. I was like, is that the?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not
what was he thinking?
Yeah, I was like, I just want to see what his first thought is. I'm sorry, but guys, it's worth the $30. If it was $100, I would buy it just to get one in my hands. So real quick, so Mike McClune, another one of my highly valued viewers, just gifted 10 channel memberships to my channel. So, dude, these guys are awesome, man. I love all you guys, man. Thank you so much. And dude, all you guys out here, I want to ride. Princess, hey, Ting Ting, good to see you. Sandwich Chef, Z, all you guys, love all y'all. You guys are incredible. Jackson, all you guys.
Now, how come we can't see it in the thread right there about the gift?
So unfortunately, either YouTube does this on purpose to destroy us as creators, or it's just a glitch, but StreamYard does not show it at all. The only way you can see it is if you are either streaming directly from YouTube, which who does that? It's 2023, and also it like in the chat. So if you go to the YouTube chat on the YouTube app, you can see it.
I'm on there now. If you guys donated channel members and I didn't say something, I apologize. I didn't see it. I'm looking now, so should something like that pop up, I will definitely say thank you.
Oh my God. And then CNT Designs and Arms just gifted 5 channel memberships. Bro, you guys are like crazy. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for giving us taking a flight.
I got you. Isaac Guerrero, $5 super chat. Thank you for taking the fight, CRS freedom at last. Hell yeah.
Thanks, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And you got a
Gracias
$20
por
one,
tu
too.
ayuda. And Chad Bremer. I'm just kidding. It sounds
For a
French or
nice
something, but
Ferrari.
yeah, that's
That
beautiful.
is a dope car.
$20 super chat. I made an order tonight. I look forward to the mystery patch. Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, should I?
Just hide it. Just hide it. Hide it.
Maybe I
Yeah.
should put it at my neighbor's house.
Should I be concerned about you know what? Someone could get it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Let me stop right now.
Yeah, let's not go into it too deep.
Okay. Well,
I
people
would
are
be.
like, how? I'm a glowy now. Hell yeah, Stephen Kilpatrick. That's awesome. Craig Licker. Good to see all you guys. Okay, so backing up a little bit. Basically, the ETF did terrible things, and they were specifically doing this to destroy the gun building world. They created another industry on accident by doing it, and then Mike McClune, what?
What? 50
Hey,
bucks?
why are you doing that? Can I say something?
Sure.
The house I rented, I'm at the furthest point to I'm like in the kitchen, which is like on like one side of the house. On the exact opposite corner of the house, like the furthest point away from me in this house, is Rich's bedroom, right?
And you
Okay.
can hear him snoring.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
It's
No.
probably very, very loud.
It's loud, man. I can hear it.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I've slept in the same hotel room.
But back to this $50 super sticker. Dude.
Oh my God, Mike McClune.
That's amazing.
And I think just to throw this out there, I think Mike McClune like found us through us. I think he found like CRS and then Crump and then me, or so like everyone like is becoming this like tight little community through each other. So that's awesome. And Mike McClune, man, is a G. All you guys, man, all you guys.
Well, once upon a time in YouTube history, for whatever reason, YouTube awarded heavy benefits to drama. And so you've seen a bunch of channels split apart. I don't know if that was intentional or if that's just the way it happened. Since then, that has all went away. And I've seen the gun channels just coming together and all fighting for a cause.
Yeah.
Because you'll get canceled if you get into drama and start talking crap about someone. Yeah, you'll get a spike in views, but as soon as they come off, analytics are down to nothing.
Dude, so hold on. So Gabra Piet, like, please don't ever feel like obligated to give what you've already done tonight, and I'm sure on other nights too. All of you guys, like Mike McClune, giving so much, Kurt24, CNT, like all you guys in every super chat that's come to Matt, like, please don't ever feel like obligated to give. Like, we're grateful for every single interaction that we have with you guys.
Agreed.
So thank you. Yeah, and
it's pretty humbling, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate all y'all. So in short, just to revisit this, I promise this will be the last time. Basically, then they came out later with another open letter, basically saying that if you were a frame company that recommended a jig company, or a jig company that recommended a frame company, then what you did is you utilized your marketing, which
conspiracy,
to commit conspiracy to obfuscate
structuring.
Yeah, which is so whack. But yeah, basically you're structuring a transaction to obfuscate FFL licensure, serialization, background checks, etc. If you're engaging in the business of frames, unfinished frames, receivers, and parts and jigs and templates and instructions, etc. But the crazy thing here, and this is where stuff gets crazy, right? When I read the open letter on 12/27, and it said the second time I've seen this verbiage used, the partially completed, unfinished frame or receiver, and they said that the partially completed, unfinished frame or receiver is a gun. And one of my viewers, I think actually John Rice, was like, okay, so the not a gun is a gun.
The real question is then, where is the legal line? How far can you go before something actually becomes a firearm? Because they essentially erased it. And we're like, hey, we're
Yeah.
going to go case by case basis. We'll look at your tag words. We'll look at who you've talked to, any sponsorships you might have. All of those
Mhm.
things, tag word can determine what is and is not a firearm.
Like-
It's that crazy.
They call it a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A holistic approach means, yeah, you're at our mercy, depending on your internet presence, depending on who you do or do not talk to, will determine if we're going to just come in there and shoot your dog, haul you off to prison.
Well, remember, Sandwich Chef, it says, or Sandwich Chef says it has to shoot bullets, right? No. Remember, being readily convertible, right? So, sorry, I just hit my baby.
8 hours in a machine shop.
Yeah, I mean that's the scale they're talking about. They're talking about something as broad as anything that would take 8 hours to convert in a machine shop. So this is, I mean, that is loosely what they're operating off of, as readily convertible, right?
Which I think only excludes what? Or maybe?
Yeah, like dude, give me 8 hours in a machine shop, I could punch out like,
We're not going to go too much on what we can make in 8 hours in a machine shop, but I can tell you
Yeah.
it's a lot.
yeah, thank you for
You'd be
stopping me.
surprised what I could go into a machine shop with. I worked
Yeah.
at a machine shop for a minute, but I still have pretty limited skills, and I could come out with some surprising equipment.
Yeah,
I can just imagine them raiding some African mine because they dug up ore, and now that ore is considered a gun because it's readily convertible.
yeah. I know.
I think what they're going to do is start using tarot cards. Like they'll bring up someone's name and they'll flip the card. And
Palm
if it's got
reader.
an ATF agent on it, we're going to a palm reader. Be like, yeah, that is classified as a machine gun. Madam LaSantis said it was.
Yeah, right. Chloe. What was
After
her
my
name?
massage, she told me it was.
Doing a thought crime.
Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing, right? It's like
They talked about that in the meeting too. We're trying to prevent crimes before it happens. I'm like, you just said that openly?
We saw that movie. It didn't turn out too well.
No.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Tom Cruise will never die in a movie, so you already know the ending. However,
Of
like,
course. Yeah.
it didn't end well because where do you stop? Okay, so now we got a thought crime. This is what we need to determine the thought crime. Well, maybe that's not enough because something still happens. So let's back it down more. This is what we need to determine a thought crime. Okay, that the crimes are still happening. Let's back it down. Where does it end? Where is the legal line?
Hey guys,
oh my God.
All right, let's not get too distracted here.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. First off, I have to admire the way Tom Cruise runs in movies with his blade hands.
Because he's actually slicing space time, so he's able to slip through
The
at a faster
continuum.
rate of speed than the average man.
Exactly. But no, okay. So all jokes aside, and I think I saw a couple of you guys come out in PLA. Your name, Eagle Run 23. What's up, brother? Which they all got great channels too. So check them out. Hold on. This question. Somebody asked a question. Let me go back. This question. Where did it go? Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Matt, if you're an SOT, how can they charge you for anything?
That is an excellent question. I'm still failing to answer. Like, I literally bought the license, so this wouldn't be a problem. I did the paperwork. I bought the license. I should be exempt from it because that's the whole point of the license is special occupational tax.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so let's say an SOT, an 0702 SOT, right?
I should probably back up, though. I didn't personally buy the license. The business did. It's an LLC. But when you're operating as, what is it called, a trusted persons?
Yeah. Did you have a G number with the company that allowed you to run background checks?
It was far enough to where when I got arrested, the ATF showed up at the business and said I needed to be removed from the FFL.
Bingo. Okay. So if you could do 4473s, if you could run background checks on other people, and if you're an employee, you are part of that agency, the FFL, and you could, well, let me be cautious about what I say here.
Yeah,
Um,
because we're getting
yeah.
into the weeds.
Yeah. So maybe we should be a little more cautious. But basically, oh, hold on, my daughter woke up. Give me 1 second.
Anyway, thank you for the $10 super chat, and I gotta say it again. That is a dope looking car. Like for real, that looks amazing.
Dude, I love Ferraris.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted. How do I take his screen off until he gets back?
You can you can just there is a way here. Da-da-da. If you go in there, you can hit it so when they turn off their camera that they're hidden, but that's under the settings.
We'll just leave it be. So anyway, Tom Cruise died in. Oh my God, you're right. The train movie. What? I can't see my screen. What does that say?
Oh, which one?
The
Tom
comment
Cruise
I got
died?
pinned.
I don't know. Did I miss it?
No, I got it pinned on my thing. Not
Oh,
Collateral.
it's not Collateral.
It is Collateral? I thought it was something
The
different.
Collateral is not the train movie, but yeah, Collateral. He did die.
No,
in
they're
Collateral.
riding on a train and he gets shot in the end because he's got that taxi cab driver. He's having him drive around, shooting all those bad guys.
Yeah. I thought you meant like he was like a train conductor or something. Yeah, that's with the Jamie Foxx is the
Yes.
taxi guy driver. Yeah, Collateral.
Man,
That was a great movie. I think
there's
that
always
was one of
somebody
his best
that just
movies.
proves it is a good movie. I liked it. Maybe I liked it because he finally died and it was an unexpected ending because you assumed he was going to kill Jamie Foxx because he never dies in movies.
Yeah. Collateral was a great movie, man. He has some really good movies. He might be a nut in real life, but he is a good actor.
Yeah, Scientology all the way, man.
Yeah.
I heard some crazy stuff about that cult, but it's hard to say what's real and what's not. Huh?
Xenu? Yeah, they believe in all the alien stuff.
I mean, I'm not going to say aliens are or not real. I just wouldn't make a religion around it.
I don't think they put 1 billion souls in a volcano.
Explain.
They believe like 1 billion souls are trapped in a volcano by an evil alien overlord named Xenu.
And what, they're going to send Tom Cruise to save him or something?
No, you have these thetas, which are like thetans, which are these spirit things in you, and yeah, you go through all the auditing to become clear of the thetans, which are like alien spirits.
I don't think people like seeing this because they're starting to drop off viewers. So let's get out of the weeds.
You're the one who brought up Scientology, man.
I was legitimately curious. I'm like, what? Aliens? Like, I'm not going to say, again, they are real or not real. However, I'm not going to make a religion around them.
Yeah.
Hey.
That was definitely like a little detour there. So I'll
hold
tell you
on,
a
I
little
got
bit
one of
about
those things. Keyboard Warrior just gifted 10 CRS Firearms memberships. Thanks, man. I've never seen that before. That was the first time I ever had that pop up on my screen.
Yeah, they added that like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I haven't been living forever. But again, Saturday we're leaving for Florida unless I get a notification that we're not, which has happened multiple times. So we'll have to see what happens with that. And yeah.
Yeah, I shot the steel frame Canic this weekend.
They have a steel frame?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
It's like shooting a Canic, but it's heavier, so there's less recoil. And
It's just like a laser beam, like
yeah, and the weight felt really good.
Now, what exactly is the PSA thing you're at? Or we're at?
It's like think about like a bunch of like every Barrett was there. It's out of range. Like Barrett, they had a mile-long shoot, whatever.
Speaking of which, buy your Barretts now because they're from. Did you hear anything about them leaving the country?
They got bought by a foreign company.
Yeah, so now don't they have to fall under like 922R and somehow have to be a sporting rifle to get your M82?
No, the M82 are still going to be made in the United States.
Oh, thank God. Because as soon as I heard about them leaving the country, I'm like, no! Why didn't I buy one sooner?
No, they're still being made in the United States. No, but there was like a bunch of different manufacturers, and then you can demo all their guns and stuff like that.
So it's like an awesome version of SHOT Show?
Yeah, it's like a version of SHOT Show, but you can actually shoot the stuff at SHOT Show.
You can shoot stuff at SHOT Show?
No, you can't shoot stuff at SHOT Show. Besides on range day, you can.
Yeah, only on range day.
Okay, yeah.
What was
I shot the micro dagger. It was actually nice.
Let's say you died right now and God was like, what was the most memorable part about the PSA show? What would you tell him? And why?
My nose is squeaking.
Last night was pretty good because we had like a bunch of different people. Like Hank and Lola Strange were here. Kevin Dixie was over here. Boomstick Babe was here. Just a bunch of different people. Paul from Legally Armed America, like Stephen Williford was here. So it was like a bunch of people and Stephen Williford. I don't know. You know who Stephen Williford is? Remember the guy at
Barefoot Hero
at that church in Texas that engaged the mass shooter with his AR?
Oh, okay. I know.
Yeah, so we hung out with him and like a bunch of other people, and it was a lot of fun to be hanging out with like King Strange, Kevin Dixie, Stephen Williford. It was just a really cool mix of people.
280U.
280U, yeah.
Now, if you could take any gun from that and it's yours, like NFA not applying, what would it have been?
The full auto AUG. The white full auto AUG.
I wasn't too impressed with the full auto AUG.
No?
No. I like the I would much rather have like some of the like a full auto AKs or whatever, or some of the other ones like they had from full auto like the MP5s and stuff like that. So I'd rather have that. The full auto AUG. Have you ever shot a full auto AUG?
Me, no.
It's kind of interesting because it's like the trigger, you pull it back, and it's like one shot. Then you pull it back further, then it goes full auto.
Yeah,
that's different.
It's basically you pull it, boom, and it's semi-auto, right? Boom, 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 and then you pull it all the way back, and it's full auto. Gabby or Piet, hey, you said you gave all you can. You're a student, man. Thank you so much, and it's enough. It's enough. He says, Matt, open the YouTube chat in a tiny window on your screen and try to answer some of the chat questions that are in. Oh, it doesn't let you do it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
I could close down this screen and zoom it in, but then if I touch anything, the best thing I can do is put on my phone and just bring it up like this.
Yeah, it would basically like show an infinity window of himself in his screen. But that is a really good point. If there was a way that you could do that and like blow it up and like review each question, like that would be cool.
Yeah, like if our pictures were as big as they are on the bottom of the screen, but then the main center one was just the chat, I think that would be ideal.
And you could like slow it down with your mouse.
Yeah,
and, like that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I appreciate the super chat, man. All right, Dark, your turn. So all your guns got sucked into the next dimension. You can only reach in there and pull one out, but this can be anything at all. It doesn't even have to be one of yours. But you will only be able to only use that gun for the rest of your life.
Okay, this is gonna be tough for me because I'm like the loadout guy, and this happened a long time ago when I don't know how much info I want to give. Well, let's just say I started looking at like all of my guns as like not just I have X amount of rifles, X amount of shotguns, X amount of handguns. I was like, let's break this down into loadouts, right? So it's a really difficult to break this down to one. So you're saying one firearm, any firearm I want, right?
Any
NFA,
color,
walls,
anything.
and I can only use that gun for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Your fingers will just pass through any other firearm you try to pick up.
It's like on
You can stare at them, but you can't touch them.
Grand Theft Auto glitches or something.
Yeah.
Probably Nagant revolver. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I thought I'm like, what? I gotta hear the explanation for this one.
Yeah, really. Man, that's God, that's really tough. You know, for usability, I would have to say, oh man, for something that you can use as an intermediate firearm, meaning something to fill a bill between a rifle and
The
a
crescent wrench.
handgun. Yeah, right. It would have to be some type of piston driven 5.56. And thinking about like that a step further, it's like, well, like a 10.5 inch PSA Jackal is dope, but do I really want a PSA like for the rest of my life, right? So I'd say I'd probably have to go with something with a folding stock, right? I think I'd have to go with like yeah, and something to kind of meet that intermediate range of rifle pistol, kind of thing. So I'd have to go with like a 10.5 inch SCAR 16S machine gun, of course, and I think that's all that would make sense.
What was yours again, Crump? Because we started talking about the AUG and we got distracted.
No, wait, I don't think we ever.
Yeah, sorry, that was me.
There's something I have to. I've shot this weekend, or it could be anything.
But if it came up this weekend,
no. I honestly, if I could pull one gun and only have one gun for the rest of my life, and it would have to be something like Dark said. It could be I wouldn't do the SCAR. I would do like a MCX or like a Spear or something like that.
But in a rifle caliber, right?
In a rifle caliber.
Oh, that's right. MCX. Sorry.
MCX.
Yeah. It's like the MPX.
Like the Rattler?
Kind of like larger.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something with the foldable stock or something like that, or maybe like a rifle caliber.
How long of a barrel?
They have different sizes, but I would like to get an SBR version of it.
Like
inches
11
exactly.
11.5 or
11.5, maybe 10.5. I don't know.
All right, Dark. What optic?
Ooh.
What would you put on the SCAR 16 SBR?
God, it's so difficult, man, because it's like one. I got like 100 guns. I mean, just kidding. God, I'd probably, and I'm a 10.3 fan too, but I'll go with the 10.5 inch SCAR 16S. Something with a little magnification. So let's go with. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go with an L-can. I'm going to go with an L-can, which costs as much as a SCAR. An L-can 1 to 6, which is really for the 308, but whatever. I'll take the 1 to 6.
Me? Well, Chichicon has this really cool sight that's it's thermal and it's also night vision.
Damn.
What's it called? I don't think I'm familiar. I've seen the Holosun.
I know. I definitely want to Google it.
No, I'm not sure what it's called. It's only for military only.
Oh, of course.
Hey, Gabber Piet, so we got some folks that are that may be able to help with that. I'll talk to them offline. And Holosun with the Olight. Yeah, I can't. The only Olight I've ever owned, I actually got for free in a trade, and it was a killer deal. So this is where, okay, you're looking at a Glock guy, all right? I've literally got like more than 24 9mm Glocks. It's actually kind of sad. Most of them are P80s, but a lot of them are P80s. Anyway, so my idea on handguns changed completely when I bought one singular handgun. You want to guess what it was, Crump?
The shield.
No, it's
High
a
point.
hammer fired. Oh no, God no. Although I did have a
XDE.
USB.
no. So real quick, I did a shooting competition. If you look on, I think I have a short on my YouTube channel. Black Rambo, Tactical Turkeys, Guns and Butter, and me. We did a high point. We all took our like $1,000 plus carry guns, $2,000 carry guns. Black Rambo took his $8,000 Atlas and put it down, and we all did a competition with a high point. Dude, I beat all of them. I never shot one in my life.
Like, that's my carry gun.
I literally, up until that point, I had never fired one in my life. It was hilarious. But no, the handgun that changed the way I've looked at all handguns, and I'm pretty good. I can hit a silhouette at 100
P238.
yards.
Avocado.
Nope, a Beretta M9A3. Dude,
I would have never guessed, and that's a sick firearm too.
dude, that is my new. I took all my gear off like my war belt and like all that, and I switched everything over. Which, I mean, it's all like the magazine stuff is compatible because they're the taco stuff, because you could use them for Glock mags or Beretta mags. But my gear, my holster, everything is switched over to a Beretta M9A3. I can literally like hit ping pong balls at 25 yards dead center, like no question. If those like hostage negotiation targets where there's like a head and then like a semi-circle head behind it, and it's like, okay, I may be able to hit this at like X amount of yards. This is like, which wrinkle do you want the bullet in? It is just ridiculous accuracy, and I got a hell of a deal. $850 for the gun, holster, 16 magazines, and a whack ass Olight. So I took that.
How about a Sand Viper?
Ooh, oh, that's you can't compare that, because I shot that like $8,000 Atlas, and I was hitting that like half-inch target at 7 yards, just like stacking bullets on top of each other. It's not even fair.
Crump, did you get to drive the Hellcat?
No, I actually went with a pickup truck because
Over a
well,
Hellcat?
where we were going, it's kind of at a field, and it was supposed to rain today, so it would have been bad.
I would have walked the rest of the way.
I don't know, so I ended up renting a pickup instead because I didn't want to get stuck.
No, I get that.
I was hanging out with Black Rambo today, actually, and yesterday.
Yeah, he's a good dude. When I first like saw his videos, and then you meet him, he is a totally like normal, chill dude. Like I don't know, I just had a different picture of him in my head, but he's a good dude. There's actually a short of me shooting his Atlas and nailing that little half-inch target at like 7 yards, which I know isn't like super far away, right? But that means you can hit a 1-inch target at 30 yards. So Blade Boy SF, is that the one with the drop down front grip? No, that's a Beretta 93R, which is like handmade by Jesus Christ himself.
God literally
You know what?
came down and
Yeah.
crafted a firearm.
Yes.
I'm gonna change my
Oh, you can't do that.
my Henry 410 side loader.
That's your
I love
forever
it.
gun. That's your forever gun.
Yeah, I just love it.
Yeah,
I
but
can't-
I get it, man.
usability, like, and I know that you, okay, with
I
the
know,
shotgun,
but I just can't. I couldn't deal with my life without it.
Yeah, see, you don't even have to ask me because everyone already knows. It would be a SCAR 617 with an ACOG and a
Yeah.
convertible Magpul sling, so I can break it into two or put it into one.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so hold on. So that's yours,
Yeah,
the
like
SCAR 16S
no, what 17?
or 17? I'm sorry. So you're a 17, and are you going 16.5 inch? Or are you doing 13.5 inch, or what
Nope,
are you
16
running?
inch.
Okay.
You get below 16, the 308 isn't really performing it so much anymore.
Yeah.
But 16 to 18, there's really not that much of a difference. 16 to 20, it's still really not that much of a difference. Yeah, if you're going ultra long range, 20 inch all the way. But dude, when I'm holding the SCAR 17S with the ACOG on it and my convertibles, I feel like I conquered the whole world.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
Just goosh, goosh, goosh. I'm like, yeah, whoa, America.
The only thing is magazine compatibility. Like I love the idea of having a 5.56 that you could just grab any mag if needed. And hold
And
on
the
real
ammo's
quick.
everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. So Michael
I'm
Fabian
changing
says,
my mind again. My stormtrooper hog.
you
Yeah,
said
the white one.
you know what? Can we get some people in chat to say that he can't keep doing this?
Yeah, I know. Dude, I had an obsession with that game when the first Call of Duty came out, the Modern Warfare 2, the original. I'm like, dude, I gotta
Yeah.
get a white AUG. Like, I
Dude.
almost, when it was Scar time, the AUG was on the list, and I'm like, ew, ew, ew. And then I kind of fumbled with them. I'm like, no, Scar.
Well, the only reason I picked the optic I did is because CRS always replays hardcore, and he always throws like smoke and then shoots me through the smoke.
So hold on. So this
We're
is
on the same
actually
team.
important. So I think
Or
Roush
trooper
Chanel
malfunction.
Van. So Roush Chanel Van,
Gun
$20 super chat from Roush
Thank you,
Chanel
man.
Van.
Appreciate
So
it.
check this out. And I kind of was surprised by this too. So he says, not sure if anyone has mentioned this or not, but can you guys do a video on, and Crump, hold your comments till the end, please. But can you guys do a video on what New York is doing to indie guns and the fact that other parts companies have given customer data to the government? Liberty Doll did a video on it. Okay, so this was in August of last year when all this originally happened. Crump was one of the ones that dropped the story on it first. And so this came up again recently because he had, because it's an ongoing case. Okay. And a bunch of other things have progressed since then. But Crump, John Crump News, John Crump Live, even myself, I didn't even realize that I had discussed it too in live streams. Jared with Guns and Gadgets, like Mike with Guns and Gear, like all these people have reported on it. And what had happened was Rainier Arms, ADP Builder, and a lot of other companies, including a lot of people are like, oh, Zafiri Precision, this and that. Zafiri Precision, Salvo, I think Salvo Industries, which is like 7 companies, I believe, they all, without even a court order, just out of fear of potential, um, a potential, court, what do you call it, subpoena. All of them gave all of their customer data to the United States government, to the ATF.
No, and that was they gave it to to New York
Or to
State.
the state of New York. That's right. Sorry.
The city of New York
Oh, I thought it was to the state.
City.
So this is only within the city.
Yeah.
Well, either way, all of them buckled. And then the CEO of Rainier Arms, who they all kind of seemed like they were trying to hide it at first. The CEO of Rainier Arms comes out and he does a video on Instagram, like a live stream, and he's doing this video of him just like this, saying like, here's why I gave all of your information to the government. And I'm like, dude, this is not helping you. But Crump, go ahead and touch
It's like
on that.
6ix9ine trying to justify ratting everyone out.
Yeah, right.
Well,
like
he didn't think I broke the story Rainier Arm turning over the information. And he didn't think that. I guess he didn't think that anyone was going to actually read through the settlement paperwork. But I read through everything. So I read through it, and then I put it out there. Then I called Jared, and I started calling people to get the other YouTubers out there to talk about it, because I was like,
I remember
go out there.
I had forgotten. I remember you called me. You were like, Dark, you need to bring this up. Like they gave all the customer information out without even a court order.
Because we need, we need to protect the American gun owner.
Yeah, that's number one. Now, I'm not going to say what they should or should not do. That's their choice to make.
But,
However,
but if the government has your information,
people's going to hear
you
about
need to
it.
know.
Well, and the crazy thing is like the reality nowadays, the government doesn't need the company to give the info. Them giving the info, that is almost like a statement of them saying F the customer, right? Like the stuff like that I'm doing with the jigs on DLD hardware, I'm not really doing that for money. I'm doing it for a statement. I'm doing it to flick the middle finger to the ETF. And, well, I'm sorry, let me say it differently. I'm doing it to make sure that I can have a personal impact on the movement for gun building to keep it lawful and to keep it available, right? And these other companies are just giving their customer information out. But the reality is they don't need them to. They could get their info from stamps.com like that. They could go to their credit card processor like that, and boom. And I'm saying, like, before lunchtime, have all of your information. They're doing this to get these companies to destroy them, right? And all of these companies that everybody is purchasing stuff from, ADP Builder or Zafiri Precision or whatever, and even the people that are saying, well, I'm not going to support those companies anymore, I'm going to go buy a slide and barrel from this company. Guess where they got their stuff from? Most of those companies like ADP Builder and others.
Yeah, I mean, looking through the original discovery of my case, not the discovery now because you'll never find anything. It's just too massive and too big. Yeah, they had like every shipping address dude ever shipped to before they even went and arrested him. There's no hiding it.
Yep. That's it.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to take off because
yeah, you're good.
I got to like roll out of here at like 6 o'clock in the morning to catch my plane.
All right, man.
You're good, bud. Appreciate you coming on and hanging out. Plus, it was a little weird because you're the only one without headphones. So I was going to kind of say,
the audio still came through pretty good, though.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. It was great. It was good having you on. Crump, do me a favor. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, where they can find you.
Yep.
I do a lot of stuff. And
no, the stuff relevant to.
Yeah, like the stuff. The stuff that you do.
Catch me outside. How about that?
So you can find him on John Crump News, which is his main channel, John Crump Live, which is his live stream channel, which he does a show every Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He usually has great guests like ya boy, DLD After Dark, every other Monday or so. And he also writes for AmmoLand News when there's breaking news. And all sorts of stuff. He does stuff for the GOA. He's the special projects ambassador or whatever it is for
director, coordinator, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah,
pretty sure he owns like Elon Musk or something too.
He does a quarter or an eighth. He uses a percentage of Elon Musk or Amazon or something. He owns stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, bunch of stuff. And he owns a 410 Henry lever action.
Dude, I love that gun with the brass receiver.
Yeah, it's a beauty. Well, I'm so glad that I remembered all that. Jonold J. Crump Jr., thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Peace. Man,
all right,
finally.
so now
I'm joking.
So now we got the rifle, the optics.
Yep.
But then it glitches out. Now you can have one that doesn't really need to serve a purpose, but you can just have it to have it.
Just like a backup?
No, just something to have. Like it could be a backup. It could be whatever you want.
Oh, that's so tough because I made like decisions for that because I may not be able to have anything else. Because I honestly so I'm not a 300 blackout guy at all, right? Like
would you run a can on that rifle?
So I would, but that would also increase the overall length, which kind of is an issue. Gabber, I'll get to your question in just a second, I promise. But okay, so I think I got to go with a shotgun. And I know, and I know
that's
a
an
lot
interesting choice. Which one and why?
So I would go with a Remington 870. If I could, I'd go with like a pre-90. I think it was pre-98 or so, just for the metal trigger housing. But see, a shotgun within 100 yards and less is one of the most versatile firearms that you can have for CQB. Of course, you're making some sacrifices there on capacity, right? You're making some sacrifices on long range accuracy. Slugs still do wonderful things at 75 to 100 yards, but for anything beyond that, that point, like I'm going to be running the SCAR, right? So I think I would have to go with an 18.5-inch Remington 870 with like what is it, the 7+1, eight or about 8 round capacity. But what I would do is I would run. I used to make fun of people that had those like Velcro shell holders on the side,
I
right?
did too.
Yeah, because it was like that's so whack. Who would put
Yeah.
Velcro on their gun? You know,
Fucking idiot.
you know.
I bet you Velcro on your shoes too.
Yeah, now I can put your patch on the Velcro.
That's
Just-
awesome.
Yeah,
Run perks on your shotgun.
yeah, right. I was thinking about the other patch, the patch that
Oh,
people don't
gotcha.
know about, But yeah, those two. So okay, so I didn't understand the purpose of the Velcro. So I was like always running the hard polymer, shell carriers, and
Well, yeah.
once you run
We're
those
80s and
those-
90s kids. That's what you do.
Yeah, right. And once you run through those shells, your gun is empty. You throw it and you grab something else,
Yeah. I
But
don't even
then
go
I
that
saw-
far. I
Yeah.
tube dump, and then as soon as the tube's empty, it's gone. In comes a
Yeah.
rifle.
Yeah. And then I saw James Reeves, which I actually had him on the channel. He came on DLD After Dark, probably in the first like 6 months we were doing the channel. And I saw him run through in a Beretta 1301. He ran through the whole tube. He loaded everything from the side saddle, and then he ripped it off, threw it, pull another one out of his. He pulled another one out of his AR mag carriers. He just had an ass load of them in his chest rig, and he slapped it on, and he kept running a gun. And I was like, "Oh, that's what the Velcro is for." So you can rip it off and pull another one out and slap it on. And I was like, oh my God, that's genius. Okay, I'm changing my mind about this completely now. So now I would probably run a Velcro, side saddle and maybe Velcro shoes as well.
Yeah, see, I was actually confused when I started watching those tactical videos. I'm like, why are they teaching people how to reload it? Like, my rifle would
Yeah.
be with me. I'd get to a certain point where a shotgun would really shine. I'd set the rifle down, pick up the shotgun, dump the tube, throw
Yeah.
the shotgun back down, and go back to my rifle.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's staged in specific spots as a moat,
yeah,
a wall of lead.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you think about it, like, let's say, okay, so let's just say you go all out, okay, and you got, like I got some of these S&B 3-inch, 15 shot double aught buck, okay? You're throwing 15, 30-ish, 32, 36, whatever, 36, I think, caliber balls. You're basically dumping a Glock 19 magazine with every pull of the trigger.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So the amount of damage now, of course, you're sacrificing speed, you're sacrificing, ballistics in a pretty big way. So if you need to punch holes in things like, maybe harder armor, things like that, you're short, right? The thing is like shotguns are excellent at so much and they suck at so much. So it's a hard thing. The
I
other
don't even
thing,
know slugs. Buckshot all the way.
dude, slugs are, so what I usually do is I'll stage my slugs in one direction and stage my buckshot in one direction. So that way I know which ones I'm reloading. Slugs, I reload over the top, right? And then buckshot, I reload under the bottom, just because
My
of the direction
shotgun
of the
wouldn't be taken out of the house, and it wouldn't be reloaded, so it's just buckshot.
See, it's just such a powerful weapon.
It is.
Sometimes it's such a great weapon. Sometimes it is probably one of the most versatile firearms in existence. Sometimes it's just there's too many other factors, right? So like you're saying, so you get out of the house, right? And then all of a sudden you see, 2 platoons of dudes 100 yards away. You're like, fuck, and then run back in the house,
Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's not going to do anything. So it depends, right? It's so much of it is circumstantial. So one of the shotguns that I got was the little Remington 870 AOW, the little 2+1 little guy, because that I can actually throw on my gear and then still run a long gun. So, but anyway, what about you? What would be your backup intermediary?
Well, let me go back to the shotgun for a second. So
yeah, and my first
in my
choice, by the
head,
way,
where
just
I
to-
would find it useful is you got your door frame and just basically like, what do they call it? Not flexing. Are you sure you really want to come in here?
yeah.
So then the shotgun would go down,
You can
and
say
the rifle. No, it's called something different. Like when a cat's hair puffs up or a dog.
Yeah. 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 I get
Like,
what you're saying.
before you come in, understand, this could be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, the opportunity where I would actually deploy it would be so incredibly rare and niche. It just, then it would go down, go right back to my rifle and go to what I was doing.
But then the other thing is like, man, let's say you do step off onto your porch. I'm just saying, okay, we're talking about like in a world without rule of law situation, guys, right? Like, so please don't take any of this conversation as like
This is all
seriously.
entertainment.
Yeah, it's all entertainment. It's all hypothetical stuff, right? So let's say you did step off your porch and you were in a life or death situation, right? And there was a target, let's say 50 yards away,
A sex robot.
a sex robot, right? Of course, in lingerie, and who has a knife and has voiced displeasure. And I'm just kidding. So, if 50 yards, a 1 ounce solid slug or a copper or lead slug going 1,700 feet per second. I mean, dude, that type of energy, you can barely recreate that in other firearms. It's pretty
possible,
devastating.
but see, I was thinking more of a situation where there's too many places for me to cover. So I do that at the one. So hopefully that they'll be like, oh, I can't go through that because he's aimed right at that door. And I switch positions and go to a different place and wait for him to come around.
You spread it out. It's kind of the same thing. Like I look at having a binary trigger as like a way to keep heads down if I need to. I'm probably not going to be running it like wah, but hey, if I need to, I could throw a half a magazine at a small area pretty quickly,
Well, because I was just thinking logically, like, okay, I'm coming up to this door, and all of a sudden, like, chunks of the door frame start flying off, shot comes through it. I'm going to assume they're camped on the door, and I'm going to try to find some other way around. So then, while they go to try to find the other way around, oh, I actually changed positions, and now I'm here waiting for them.
Yeah, flank them. So to touch on something really quickly, this was Gabber Piet and Gabber Piet and all you guys, everyone else in here. I really appreciate all the support for CRS because he needs it. We need to be there for him and with him. But you asked about a Glock trigger. So a lot of people try to achieve almost like a single action type of feel in the safe action, the striker fired design. And it's just not realistic. And though you can drastically improve the Glock trigger, when you look at it from like an armor's standpoint, right? The way a Glock trigger works, right?
Like a pinball machine.
Well, yeah, I guess in a way, yeah. But the cruciform in the back, as you pull the trigger, right, it rises up. Okay, I guess I should do it this way. So here's your striker, a little dangly bit in the top of the slide, right? Now your cruciform rises up as you pull the trigger, and then it pulls it back, right? And as it pulls it back, it starts to slip down, and then it flings it forward. Okay. Now there's a bunch of other stuff that happens during that too, right? However, the way that you start to work around this is you start to use different connectors, different springs, and things like that, which start to eliminate the amount of travel that your trigger, the trip that your trigger goes on. Well, that cruciform is what is pulling back your striker. So what happens, instead of a striker being pulled back all the way here, and then it's pulled back like this much, and you can start having a lot of issues with light strikes and issues with like harder primers not going off, and anything beyond 3.5 pounds, there's just no point. Just don't do it. Your better bet is to, and I say this all the time, your better bet is to become as proficient as possible with that particular platform, because the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. So become as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, which would be practicing on that platform, for an example, or any of these platforms in the back there, which are
it's a night and day difference when you go to hammer fire, because then you got your sear and it just slips down, so you can polish that and smooth everything out and make a crisp 90 degrees, so it's like a glass rod break, and you can get like these super clean triggers.
Oh yeah, I mean it barely moves. Like it's just night and day. And Joe Biden, yes. Well, his name is Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, Hunter 2024.
Yeah. So Joe Biden, yes, stuffed dogs with tannerite. You will see that tannerite.dog.com is not available. There's a reason for that, huh? Just saying. Coming next year.
Oh yeah, so my second firearm.
Yeah.
Because the Scar 17 can do everything, and it's the Lord's rifle.
Hold on. It sorry, real quick. So I just wanted to add this little tiny thing. Before I chose the shotgun, my choice almost was a suppressed handgun, but I went with the shotgun. So sorry, just keep that thought in there. But sorry, go ahead.
So because the Scar is the Lord's rifle and it can basically do anything, and I'm not really looking for anything past that point.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like this is magic. You know, no malfunctions are going to happen. The NFA doesn't apply. It would be a honey badger, with the 6-inch barrel and the fucking slide over can and just this little compact micro machine bullet hose.
It's just silent, totally silent.
Change mags.
Yeah. The thing is nasty, man. I like those. The sugar weasels, the honey badgers, those are special.
I just don't know what I would run for optics because I don't trust red dots. I've went to the premium bee's knees. I went to EOTech. I went with the cheap. All of them have failed on me. So I either got the shit finger that makes them fail, or they're just not reliable. So naturally, I would go to an ACOG, but you don't run an ACOG on a rifle like that. That's not what you do. You need some sort of zero magnification.
You could. So there's a couple things you could do. So what? But real quick though, what's your issue with red dots? Do you
They fail miserably?
What do they fail at?
All right, so let's start off with aim point. I bought the latest and greatest M5, I think it's called.
Okay.
The caps backed off on their own from the vibration of the rifle.
Yeah.
Lost the cap. Next, the battery is supposed to last 7 years. It says right in the instruction book. Just your standard, not lithium, alkaline battery, 7-year life. It would last about 60 days. Then I opened it up one time, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it overheated it, or maybe it was the temperature change, or whatever. The battery exploded inside of it, so then I had to put an acid neutralizer in there, clean it all out. Then I went to a lithium battery, which gave me a life about 3 months. And then it fell off the rifle completely. I have no idea why, because it's got a tensioner and everything. There should have been no way it could have ever done that, but it did. Open up my trunk. There's my rifle. There's my aim point laying over there. So then let's go to EOTech. First one I ever bought, there was a giant. It didn't happen right away. It worked perfectly, like exactly how it should. Magnifier was awesome. Very satisfied with it. And then one day I go to the range, and it was like somebody put a fingerprint on the crystal. Like half the reticle was all goofy and off to the side. I actually sent that in, and they repaired it. Still have it today. It's starting to smudge again. I don't know what's wrong with it or why they smudge out like that, but the reticle is slowly getting just nasty. I don't know.
Is it the old one that takes double A's, or is it the newer one that takes
CR123?
CR123s? Okay. All right.
So that is an issue. That one actually stayed on the rifle, and it still works. I can turn it on, and it turns on, and I shut it off, and it shuts off. And besides the reticle smudging out, which I have no idea why that does that. And I'm past the warranty date now because it's like 10 years old. I don't want to send it in again.
Do you want to sell it? Just kidding.
I got to beat my court case because I don't have access to anything right now. But
it's on a gun. Okay, got it.
It's on my girl's gun actually. So, and she's quite fond of it. I don't think she'll sell it because she's a left eye dominant, which is never heard of that before. But after I figured it out, then I just put a red dot on there and she's good to go because it just projects the two images together.
So sorry, go ahead.
Because she would always struggle with iron sights, really, really bad. And I couldn't figure it out. Like I'm like, you have a birth defect or something because it should not be this hard to teach you how to use iron sights.
Yeah.
And then I think we were shooting pool once, and she shot left-handed. I'm like, why are you shooting pool left-handed? And then the pieces came together, and I'm like, hey, bring your finger back to your eye. without paying attention, make a circle and just bring it back slowly. She went over left. I'm like, oh my God, you're left eye dominant. I'm like, here,
Yeah.
took off the iron sights, put on a red dot. I'm like, here, try this. Now she's hitting everything.
Makes sense. So
So yeah,
I would say, just my opinion, and actually backing up a little bit. So, I used to be like, I'm an iron sight guy, right? Like iron sights don't fail. Of course, iron sights fail all the time, right? But
shit happens.
yeah, and of course, when your iron sights are polymer Glock sights, right? So always upgrade those. But
Yeah.
so
It would have to be an A2 front post with a military back one before I'd even like put confidence in it. Those, no.
they're bomb proof. I mean, they literally
Yeah.
are bomb proof, sights. That's why they use those, typically use the A post front sights. But anyway, so I started going on kind of the red dot like voyage like a while back, and I put red dots on, about a dozen, maybe 15 of my guns. And the only one, now these are primary arms, SIG, kind of lower budget red dots, right?
Okay, pause for 1 second. I forgot to
go
say my other problem with the EOTech is you have to
Mhm.
turn it on. I've missed deer because my sight was off. I get out of the car and then run across the field, try to turn it on real quick, and lost a shot.
That's true. That is true. That's also a pain. Any optic you have to turn on, not in 2023. It's
Don't.
it's
Not worth it.
or just always only leave it on. But
That
there
was the
issues
plan
with
with
that,
the
yeah.
ACOG or the aim point until it failed multiple times.
So here's the funny thing. So I got the original Aimpoint Comp M4 on a like $150 ARMS throw lever mount, right? And of course, I got all these other like primary arms optics, SIG optics, and all sorts of stuff. What do you think is the only one that I ever broke that has broken beyond repair?
Aim point?
Aimpoint.
Yeah, I kind
Out
of.
of these $69.99 optics, right?
I didn't like the SIG optic. It had this blue tint to it. It made the clarity was just shit because you had like this beehive. I don't know. I couldn't get down with the SIG optic, but this was also like 2011, so maybe they've changed since then.
Well, so for the people, I don't know, I'm sure it's okay if I say this. For the people that don't know now, and this may not have been the case in the beginning, now SIG emitters are HoloSun emitters. So like all those HoloSuns on all those Glocks back there, like those are the same exact emitters that SIG is using. So they're very clean, very, they're good emitters. At least that is the way that I understand it. If someone else finds out something different, let me know, because a little insider secret was shared with me there. Now, the aim point being the only one that I broke, my primary arms Aimpoint T1 micro clones that I was using, I was getting those for $69, $100. And I've beat the dog shit out of those. I've run those for years, and they've all worked. But for something like what you're talking about, my initial thought was get one of the micro ACOGs, one of the 1.5x ACOGs,
Not a bad idea.
right? Because it gives you what you need. It has an etched reticle, and it also has the chevron, the tritium, and the fiber optics and all that.
I
But
forgot about the 1.5s.
yeah, those are nice little those are cool. And it's like just enough magnification, right? But then that made me remember somebody else said this too. I forgot which it was like someone, whoever's in chat, you know who you are. They had said the prismatic optics. That's what I'm running on my 10.3 5.56. It is a primary arms, a 1x prismatic red dot, but it's a prismatic scope that is a red dot that is it's an etched reticle with an ACSS reticle. So even if you don't have any batteries in that thing, you could just turn it off and you still have your black etched reticle with the bullet drop compensator on it. And you have true 1x, like real 1x.
So like I could spray it with water and still see through it?
Yeah, you could dunk your whole rifle in water and still see through it.
Because that's the real downside to magnification. If it rains, like
you mean like fog wise, or
no, like so say I were to take an ACOG, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put a drop of water on the front lens, you wouldn't be able to see through it. The picture gets so diffracted.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I haven't had that happen, but now part of it, I also have
You're gonna have to test that for me. Just take a spray bottle and see if you can still use it.
so I have the kill flash on it too, which probably keeps that part of the optic guarded from, water, dust, and stuff like that. But that also may have been your issue with the SIG too. So I would give when all this is over and you beat all of these ridiculous charges that are just absolutely dog shit, um, pick up a prismatic 1X or the 3X. I mean, it's basically like like an ACOG with a battery.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But again, my SIG experience was like 2011. I was running a 3-gun competition, ran out of 6.8 by SPC ammunition, and obviously that's such a weird cartridge. Nobody there had any because I forgot my extra ammo at home. So somebody borrowed me their SIG. Remember the SIG 5.56 charging handle on the side, folding stock?
Sorry, remember the what?
SIG 5.56 rifle.
Oh,
Piston driven.
I got one. I got the SIG 5.56.
Dude, I want one of those still. But
I got the 10.5-inch SBR version, the SWAT version. So
anywho, they had one in 7.62 by 39
Yep.
with SIG optic on it, and I looked through it like there was a blue tint to it, and it just made.
Oh
like,
yeah, I wouldn't use that as a benchmark for the SIG optics back then.
All right, I'll have to check it out. But yeah, aside from like the accuracy problems, like put the red dot on it, and I'd get like a hit here, a hit here, a hit here, and then bam, finally get it. Just using the optic as a whole, it wasn't enough clarity. It felt like I was using something on an airsoft gun or something.
Yeah. A lot of people are bringing up that the prism sights are where it's at. A lot of people are switching their red dots to prisms.
I'll never run a battery if the battery can be removed and the sight still works. Okay,
so that's a big
I'm willing
part.
to play, but
Yeah.
if that battery can be removed and you can't use it as an aiming reticle anymore, no, I'm not interested, not even a little bit.
Yeah, you have to have a battery backup. And I'm not talking about like an actual energy battery backup. I'm saying like if every single battery in the world was gone, right? What are you going to use for your gun? So that's also a lot of stuff we talk about on my channel. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to be a little more quiet. So I know I'm not like my typical like energetic self that's like, yeah, but sorry guys, you'll see that on another show if you choose to subscribe to my channel. Anyway, so you have to think like, okay, in the end, right? If we were in a situation that was total SHTF, WROL, like a world without rule of law, right? Energy is gone, like power's gone, right? Like, whoever's out there getting their groceries delivered to them and all that stuff, like, I'm sorry, your world is going to drastically change, right? But let's just say you couldn't get batteries or you run out of batteries.
Well, you could even put it in a situation like this, like, let's pretend my great-great-grandchildren have to dig up my grave to get my scar because things went that sideways. Will it still function?
Yep. And will the optic function? Will the gun function? A lot of you guys rocking your high point carbines with your 10-round single stack mags make different decisions.
They still gonna work?
Yeah, I would sell your high point carbine. Sorry guys, and I would go buy like a Mosin Nagant.
Yeah,
Ooh,
a bolt
hurts.
gun, even like a Remington 700, like something. It's going to work. Yeah. Now, I did have customers coming to the store way back when, and what they did is they oiled it somehow and got oil into the firing pin, so it would hydro lock when it went forward. They kept getting light primer strikes, so I just wiped it off, and then it worked flawlessly.
Facts. Sorry, I'm trying to follow everyone's chat here. But I do feel, so just me personally, I do feel like a suppressed handgun it's just like a very versatile, very helpful item if you're going to be maybe doing some covert, but maybe potentially some overt activities. Man, a suppressed 9mm with like 147 grain standard pressure, that thing is just like pa-chung, 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 pa-chung. It's excellent. But I'm not gonna, like I wouldn't, say that a suppressed 45 is bad or anything. I'm just a 9mm guy. That's my preference.
Well, that's what I was thinking. The honey badger, it could fit in a backpack, so it could be hidden. You still got the range, and it's stupid quiet. Just
Yep. Or you could use your prismatic scope to, put some supersonics in there and reach out with your ACSS reticle a little bit further too. That's perfect for that kind of platform.
right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Texas will take care of this whole suppressor nonsense, and then I'll just get a permanently attached can on a 6-inch barrel, so it equals 16 inches in total, and done.
Yeah. We could hope, but someone told me wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first.
Well, Texas is shitting in the ATF's hand, and it's filling up pretty quick.
this
So
is true. There's been a lot of wins, and I'm hoping that
dude, we've just been on a win streak. It's like all I do is win. Like,
yeah,
it's
Facts.
crazy the amount. This is the kind of stuff I used to dream about like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, shit, like pre-Bruin, like when did we have this many wins? We almost like stopped celebrating them,
Yeah, I'd say even pre-lockdown. I think lockdown was
Yeah.
the major political shift in the country. Like everyone's like, whoa, like
Yeah.
we gave you guys a bunch of power to handle something that could potentially kill millions of people, and you took it to another level. You're arresting people for walking their dogs, like tackling them. Like how are you making people safe? Like
Yeah.
it's safe. It's dangerous for me to be all alone on a, what would that be, a Federal Reserve area fishing versus being in Walmart packed shoulder to shoulder with people, and you corralled us all in, so we all have to, like, dude,
It's crazy.
people just seeing the sanity, like, okay, none of that is gonna accomplish anything.
And the people that let's say they voted one way in the past that impacted how accessible firearms were, right? And then when everything goes to shit, they're like, oh my God, I need a gun. They go to get a gun and they're like, okay, you need to buy this. Then you need to wait 7 days or 14 days. And then they're like, what? Yeah, that's what you voted for,
That was
dog.
eye-opening
Yeah.
to a lot of people because they move like locusts from shop to shop, buying
Yeah.
everything. They
Or
were
the
just
other thing,
befuddled. They're like,
the
I
other
don't even have a speeding ticket.
yeah.
Why did I get denied?
Yeah. Well, someone else named John Smith did,
Yeah, he got
but
several.
the other thing was like they just didn't have guns. Guns were barely available to purchase, right? It's like
A
unless you
riot
want
near you in your neighborhood changes your opinion about everything.
yeah, the moment that you don't know, I mean, look, everyone was like, I mean, cities were burning down literally, and everyone was
Not
talking about
figuratively.
how we don't need police, right? It's like who's these people that thought the government was going to save you? Thought the government was going to save you?
Right.
What? Yeah. So let me back up a little bit. So there's a question about the me going pachung pachung pachung. So no, I was more talking about the sound, the sound, suppressed 9 mil with like 147 grain, and there are other ones, right? But just standard pressure, 147 grain subsonic rounds is crazy quiet, and there is, I mean, yeah, of course, the added weight of a can on a handgun is definitely going to affect your recoil impulse. But they have these great things called boosters or pistons, or a Nielsen device, or some people call them a lid, which is a linear inertial decoupler, which essentially is a piston system that gives the barrel a brief. It does a couple other things, but
Almost
it
like a
gives
head start.
yeah. It so with all the gas and all the energy blowing through the suppressor, it actually pushes the can. I have a suppressor right here, but I don't.
We'll just
Yeah,
keep it off here.
yeah, just to be safe. It pushes the can forward, right? So it starts to pull away a little bit. But on a Browning style system, your barrel has the little impulse where it tips up and it aligns itself with the alignment of the magazine to be able to properly feed the next round. Well, if you put a 8-inch piece of metal on that thing, it's gonna have
There's
a negative
problems.
impact. Yeah. So this Nielsen device or lid or piston, it's called so many things, right? But it gives like a split second of kind of kickback and almost like zero gravity impulse, where your gun can function properly. So it's cool, man. That like technology has come so far in the way that that the shit that it works. It's incredible. I actually have a whole video specifically on the linear inertial decoupler devices and how they work. And even after I bought my suppressor, which has it's a 9mm Gemtech can, they started putting them inside the body of the suppressor. So it'd have like the lid, and then it would have the blast chamber, and then the baffle stack. So you're looking at a can this big instead of a can like this big. It's so cool, man. It's lots of great forward movement for our industry, for the ATF to try to pick apart and destroy you bastards.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 300 blackout, I'd probably have to experiment with optics to figure out what I want. And hopefully, like I said, Texas will be victorious and take it all the way up. And then I can just get a permanently attached can on my shorter barrel. Or let's pretend short barrels aren't a thing anymore because of pistol braces. But, you know, we're just looking for one win here. Either one, my dream can happen.
Yeah.
So then put the can on there and just... Obviously, I'd have to make it myself because I think the waiting list for a honey badger is like a year or two.
I can help you with that. You'll be good. So actually, there are a lot more. I was thinking aliens, but it's because somebody said something I want to address. There are a lot more honey badgers available now because after the pistol brace confusion came in, the popular ones that were selling were the braced pistols and not the SBRs. So they're actually a lot more available now than there were like a few months ago. And to hit on Corn Pop had said the Laugo Alien does not need a Nielsen device, which is funny because he called it another name that I didn't even call. Maybe I did, I don't know, but there's like 10 names for this shit. It's crazy, but that's correct. And there are a lot of other guns where people would argue, like the Beretta, for an example, does not need a couple of the Berettas do not need a Nielsen device or a lid or a piston or a booster because of the way the system is. Like the Beretta is almost like a fixed barrel because it's got the locking block underneath. The PX4 Storm. It's got the rotating. There's a lot of options out there. And the original cans that came out like in the late 80s, early 90s for the Beretta actually had no booster. It was just a fixed cylinder with baffles in it and wipes, and then it had 2 lugs. So these lugs, you would pull them down, right? You would slip it over a non-threaded barrel, and then it had 2 lugs, 2 like gaps machined in the barrel, and then you would punch it in there, and it would be like 2 little things that are just pushed up on like where there's 2 little indentations. It's
That's
crazy.
pretty awesome. The only problem I ever really had with Beretta is clearing malfunctions, because me and my buddy years ago would run malfunction drills. We'd throw empty cases in our magazine just to cause a malfunction, practice clearing it. The Beretta, almost religiously, you had to strip the mag, flip it upside down, rack it a bunch, get in there with your pinky and dig out the empty case, and then go forward. Where like the Glock and that, I'd flip it upside down, pull a slide back, and let it go, and I'd be back going.
Yeah, a Glock will chew on anything you put in there, even if it doesn't go bang. It'll still chew it.
It's stovepipe or something like that, but like literally just turning it 180, pulling the slide back and relieving the pressure, and then letting it go in and feeding another one. The Beretta, it just wouldn't do that. Like those were a pain to kill malfunctions. But yeah, I'm hoping that Texas wins though, because then if I could permanently attach the can, not have to do an SBR, then I'd actually be interested, because then I don't have to do a tax stamp, because after my experience, I'll never touch tax stamps. Things would have been so much worse if I would add a bunch of tax stamps.
I honestly, depending on how you set it up, you could set it up to where, other people can, I got a bunch of, class 3 stuff, NFA stuff, and looking back at it now, like the way I see things now, the way I view government, right, our natural rights, like the attack on our rights and everything that we have going on, like I definitely, like if it were today, I never would have gone and basically, like, look, you pay all this money and you purchase something in advance, right? And who's to say that the world won't fall apart by the time your stamp gets approved anyway, right? And then you're begging the government for permission to exercise a right that you're paying for the item, and then you're paying an additional tax on a natural right, and then you're waiting for their permission, and you are sacrificing all of your freedom, your independence, your privacy. It's terrible, right? Like it's I can't even believe that something like this exists, and I can't believe that back when I filed for a bunch of different tax stamps, and look, hey, I got cool shit, okay, and I got cool equipment because of it. But damn if it didn't come with a price,
Yeah,
That,
it
that's what I'm
does. A
saying.
heavy price. I
Yeah.
appreciate the 199 super chat. Dark, you're gonna have to take this one.
Yeah, sorry, I switched away from the screen for a second. My apologies. Star Wars games, thank you. Can you actually use a 3-lug on the M9A4? Possibly. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is possible. And it also depends if your can with a 3-lug, the 3-lug female adapter has like what I don't know. So the reason why people say this, I wish I could just pull the barrel out of the M9. We'd still probably get in trouble for it.
Yep.
But basically,
Manufacturing.
yeah, right. So basically, if you think of like a Glock barrel, right? When you pull out the barrel, those lugs that clamp down on the locking block area, that is what the barrel like tips up on, right? But if you look at a Beretta cycling, if you look at it like if someone's firing a magazine through it, the barrel really doesn't tip up, but ever so slightly. And the only reason it tips up ever so slightly is because the locking block has a very, very small amount of wiggle in it. And then that feed ramp, the direction of, let me guess, this is probably yeah. So this is one of the 18 rounders, but the direction of the rounds in this magazine is way less dramatic than say the directions of the round in this magazine. It's tipped up way more. It's way more noticeable. The angle is way more steep because the Glock barrel tips up like whoosh, right? So your barrel in M9 in 92FS, M9A3, M9A4, or whatever it is, moves much less. But keep in mind, no matter how much movement, unless it is an actual fixed barrel, there's always going to be some movement, and you're still dangling a very heavy piece of metal off of the end of a barrel. So it's probably going to induce some malfunctions. Glitter fart, I love you.
Thanks for the super chat, man.
$2 super chat XOXO. Can you guys say my name? Love y'all in chat. Hell yeah.
Glitter
Appreciate that.
fart.
Glitter fart.
Anywho, after all this is done, I'll make some videos explaining my position on NFA tax stamps. But after this is done, but things would have been exceptionally different if I would have had a bunch of stamps.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, Gabber Piet still giving, dude.
I know, man. It's awesome.
Gabber Piet with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Now I've given you both equal. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I really like the BRN 180. What are both of your opinions on the new AR-15 lower / AR 180 upper rifles? They're really popular in Canada now because they can't buy AR-15s. Oh, I think did you give that to my channel? Thank you, Gabby Piet. Man,
Boobs.
that's awesome. And then Corn Pop with a $2 super chat with the boobs.
Thank you, man.
I love you, Corn Pop.
All right, so you take the AR-80 first, and I'll hit second.
So I love the AR 180. I think it's incredible, and I think it is if we were to have waited like, I don't know, maybe a decade from not even a decade because of how the original design of like the first AR-10, which created the M16 A1, right? Which there's a little more to what I just said there, but the people that know the story, like you understand what I'm saying. So originally the AR, the first AR that was created was an AR in 7.62 by 51, the NATO caliber, and they changed it, and it was a top charging. It basically had a trigger in the carry handle, top charging. It was totally different. And then they ended up switching it to a really, really crazy, what we know as the M16A1, which was like, let's give dudes in the jungle that are in the middle of conflict a terrible rifle that is unreliable with the wrong ammo, wrong bullet twist, wrong length of barrel. I mean, everything was just a disaster with that. And then I feel like if we had just waited like a few years, maybe even a decade, that John Moses Browning himself would have come up with some type of piston driven system that has a bufferless design that is exactly what like the AR 180 or some of the other similar firearms are. But in my opinion, they are extremely expensive to build. You're looking at over over 2 grand to build one of those things or buy one of those things. And now that the PSA Jackal is out for like 9 something, you can get virtually the same exact thing. I would just say you're probably better off just going with the Jackal. If you're stuck on a 180 though, just get the 180. But you also can't go wrong with a $450 AR either. So you can build something from PSA. Just put a nice barrel and a nice BCG in it, and you're rocking and rolling, man.
All right, so yes, the AR-15 has a very awesome attribute, I guess you'd call it. I could disassemble 50 AR-15s, put all their parts in a box. I could shake the box up really, really good and start grabbing out parts, and it's probably going to run when I put it together. I mean, yeah, obviously you have like different stocks, like commercial, mil spec, stuff like that, but pretending like, it's just random rifles, that's a double-edged sword, though. Yes, it's extremely spec'd. Everybody makes them over and over and over again with the right tolerances and that. But you get one. What honestly is the difference between the guy next to you at the shooting ranges? And that's a problem for a lot of people. I want something mine, personalized. There's literally nothing you could do to your AR-15 to personalize it that honestly somebody hasn't already done. There's only so many parts you can combination together, and therefore that kind of kills a lot of it. With a 180, you can get away from that. However, again, now you have standardization problems. Like before, the biggest problem with the 180 is that it was stuck in time. Like if we would have went with that as the military instead of the M16, because they did have that choice, it would have advanced with time. It would have got the pick rail on it. Things would have advanced. It would have become a better and better rifle. Ultimately, Brownells did wind up bringing it back, and then they put some advancements on it. Are those the best advancements for that particular rifle? I don't know, because it didn't go through time and have all that military testing. Yeah, it is similar to the AR-15, but would have the AR-180 advanced in a different way, shape, or form because of the actual system and how it particularly works? To the crux of my argument, if you already have an AR-15, or if you're in Canada and you can't get an AR-15, the next best thing obviously is the 180. But if I have the choice AR-15 over AR-180, unless I want to be different, like that is a huge problem for me on the inside, I would go with the AR-15. However, if I can't, obviously the AR-180 is the next best thing. There we go.
Yeah. Well, and some of the other things there, and I want to acknowledge a couple of things real quick, but some of the other things there is that if
Appreciate the channel member.
So here's the crazy thing. Glitterfart actually joined my channel. That was a channel membership for my channel.
I still appreciate it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then gifted 10 channel memberships
Nice,
to my channel. Dude, thank you so much, man. Glitterfart. You guys, like, I swear to God, we have one of the best communities ever. Like people that just come in and contribute. And if you guys do hang out, stick around, join my shows, you'll see the way that we close every show, and kind of the way that we as a community like to treat each other. So thank you. I'm grateful for that. And I know CRS is too. But let's say, for an example, let's say that
I want to come back to this one.
Yeah. Let's say your AR-180 goes down, right? And there's no more manufacturing. There's no more, like, you're stuck with like whatever parts are in the world or in circulation. Obviously,
and manufacturing could go down because Brownells is like the only one that I really know that's doing it.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
They might decide it's not profitable and cut it.
Yeah, yeah. And you never know how many of them are sold, right? Yeah, so it could turn off any day. So I don't know. I mean, yes, you could absolutely fashion some stuff to make it work, but man, you're always going to be you're almost always going to be able to fix your AR, and probably a lot of you guys, if you're like me, you got bolts, you got other parts, you got the stuff that's going to break down first, right? You got gas tubes because you're gonna cook them, right? They're gonna be glowing orange one day, maybe. So yeah, but my apologies. Go ahead, Mini 14.
Um, they're a beautiful looking gun. They are. You can't deny it. However, a Mini 14 is in the same class as me as like an AK-47. Like, as a part of a collection, yes, all the way. They are good looking. They're historic. As a primary gun, I wouldn't, because the action's exposed. So obviously they have issues with reliability. And also, like, how it chambers. Like, I've tried to slow ride the bolt on a Mini 14 because I was hunting, and it caused a malfunction. You have to let it come back and slap it, or you have to bang on the charging handle to close all the way. It's made out of wood, if you get one made out of wood. So swelling can be an issue with your accuracy. They're typically not that accurate. I mean, everyone is an individual. And when you're looking at a primary rifle, individuality is not exactly what you're looking for. For a
Yeah.
collection to add on, like, okay, there's my base AR-15. That is the standard, millions of them just like it, but this rifle is mine. Now I want something unique. Then the M14. I wouldn't, or the Mini 14. I wouldn't buy the Mini 14 as a first, unless, of course, like, I live in California. Now, laws change everything. But if I live in California, I'm going to go with an M14 or an M1A, because then I can take the stripper clips. So if I don't want to follow a featureless rifle, saying this doesn't get overturned shortly, and I put on a 20-round mag and I have the stock or whatever, I can always reload that beast with stripper clips. It's right on the top of the receiver. Just put your stripper clip in there, push it down, bam, it's loaded back up. But typically an M1A or a Mini 14 avoids all the assault rifle bans, because Ruger played a big hand in designing the assault rifle ban, so he intentionally cut out a square that wouldn't
For
affect
themselves.
his
Yeah.
his rifles at the time. So you can get a Mini 14 or an M14 and not have to worry about any featureless things or anything like that, because again, most of the laws were also made by Ruger, and those were his rifles, so he made sure they weren't put into it, if that makes sense.
Bill Ruger, what a guy.
Right.
And that's to include everything you just said, to include the Mini 30 as well. But I will tell you, there's one exception. Okay, now this is basically a Mini 14, and I'm gonna have to run here shortly. But it's
Yeah, I'm about
basically a
done
Mini
myself.
14. The Ruger AC 556 is
I
one of
forgot
the
to play with one.
Dude, so it's basically, think of a 12.5 inch Mini 14 with the side folding A-team metal stock that looks like a little robot foot looking thing. And shout out to the Carnicon heads out there. But its selector, it has an M14 style selector, and it is safe, semi, 3-round burst, auto. It's like a rainbow. Yeah.
Nice.
And you can get them for like 15 grand. Obviously, I'm not telling anyone to go spend 15 grand, because why would you put a pencil barrel on a machine gun? You're going to cook it. It will be a bald. The inside of the barrel will be as bald and smooth as the
My
outside
hair.
of the barrel. Yeah, exactly. Probably less coarse, but it's just the coolest machine gun out there. That's one that I would say is definitely badass. That was the Miami FBI shootout machine gun that changed everything in the 80s. Like, if you want to look at, like, why do my police in my town, city, whatever area, roll around with plate carriers and long guns and shotguns and 12 magazines on their person? It is because of that shootout. Like, straight up. Oh, never mind, I won't say that. They're
Let's
the
do
reason.
our outros because we're getting late.
Yeah, I know it's almost 2:30, but dude, I just can't say enough. So, okay, all you guys out there and all the new folks in my chat, man, thank you so much. When we come back, and we'll pick up doing shows next Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, usually 10 p.m. Eastern. you guys will have a blast. We talk about a lot of cool stuff. But I just want to say thank you to all you guys, everyone that contributed to CRS. This little community that we have right here, man, is the shit. And having people like Glitter Fart and my guy Gabber come in, like these new guys, Walking Contradiction, all these guys, you guys are awesome, man. So thank you so much for coming into my channel. Now, lastly, I'll go. You know what, CRS, you go ahead and go, and then I'll do my little outro.
I appreciate all your guys' support. Don't forget, you can purchase this badass beanie. Oof.
That is dope.
It is. At shoponlytacticalfans.com. Now, this isn't a comfort one. I should probably point that out. This is function. I will ultimately put out a comfort one that's a little bit more flexible, because I tried wearing it all day and I couldn't. Like, I could have it on for a couple hours, but then my ears start getting sore. And if you purchase more than $30, you will get the mystery patch for free. I can't show you it. I can't tell you what it is. I can't really even talk about it. It was a mistake in manufacturing that I cannot explain away. So if you want to see what it is, just purchase more than $30 at shoponlytacticalfans.com. I appreciate all your guys' support. It's especially relevant because in less than a week, I'm going to be heading down to Florida to finally go to my trial here, and this money is what's honestly paying for it, because if you remember, I got demonetized for 4 months right before January. So yeah, that's a lot of catching up to do.
For everyone out there, imagine like you have a job, and imagine that this job has been consistent and you've helped build the company, right, for years. And all of a sudden you go 4 months without getting paid, and your employer still lets you come in and still lets you work, but they just don't pay you. That's YouTube. Welcome to the company alphabet, ladies and gentlemen. Google and YouTube together, working hand in hand with the government to, really just to encroach on your natural rights. But it's them. But please support CRS, right? Support CRS. He needs us, and that's why I wish through this whole time we could have done more streams like this, but we wanted to be aware of everything going on. So but yeah, CRS brother, I'm always here for you, and my whole
after I'm victorious, I will swing by Virginia and come see you again.
Yeah, hell yeah. And now things are different, so we maybe spend some more time together,
because they have this quarter line. So basically, like, coming back to school in time doesn't make sense. The school's basically over. So
yeah, that's
after catching our breath after that long fight and victory dance, then
you're gonna have your
school's basically over.
Yeah. Well, do you mind if I've never not closed out one of my streams with my little ending. Do you mind if I do that? Is that okay?
What
ending? Even though we're on your channel, the way I end every stream, it's just I do my rules.
Go ahead.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, again, thank you so much, everyone, for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate the support. Appreciate your viewership. And as always, with every DLD stream, because we're streaming to both CRS's channel and my channel, come and check us out, DLD After Dark. Patronize DLD Hardware. If you guys are looking for jigs for the new frames, bridge frames, any of that stuff, they're all there and available. But also, we'll end on the rules as we do every other night. So rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief little interaction that you have with somebody could have a massive impact on their life. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others, right? When you bless others, you become blessed. A hand that's open to give is open to receive. So watch, if you do choose to give to others, your life will get bigger. That's just always what happens. Now, rule number 3, because we know that the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. So make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out.